two, three, four. Oh, it's yellow. It's yellow. Okay. That's all right. Good to know now. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. One. Yeah, one, two, three, four. That sounds good. All right. Let's see the bios of these kids.
No.
Let's see.
You can? Okay, good.
So you're going to see an intro. We're going to cue you.
Yep.
Just give a general opening.
Okay.
And you say, we're just going to go to this interview piece. That's 11 minutes. After that, we'll do the introductions.
Got some wind going on here. You hear that?
P&D Sports, an
Welcome
exclusive
to
video
Smithtown
broadcast.
West High School. Oh yeah. Welcome to Smithtown West High School, where the National Football Foundation Quarterback Challenge is being done this year in 2025. Hi, I'm Greg Sarah of Newsday Sports, and we have 15 competitors in the Boys National Football Foundation Quarterback Challenge, and we have 11 girls who will participate later in the event. Coach John Gill will take them through all of the different exercises, and the participants will be graded as such. We have some of the finest quarterbacks in high school football for this upcoming season today for this event. In the boys event, we'll talk to coaches from Connecticut High School, Oceanside, Long Island Lutheran's new coach, Tequan Garner, and Levittown Division. It's an exciting day here at Smithtown West. We're ready to rock and roll the National Football Foundation Quarterback Challenge. Let's meet the quarterbacks.
All right, good morning, Tim. First question, what excites you most about being selected and to participate against some of the top returning quarterbacks in the Long Island Quarterback Challenge?
I think what's most exciting is being able to compete against the top quarterbacks and being recognized and having my name in there as a top returning quarterback on the island.
Great. Now, this is an easy one. Who's your favorite NFL quarterback and why?
Right now, I think I'd have to say it's Lamar, just because I like the way he plays. He could throw the ball. I know everyone says that he only runs, but gotta have a little bit of both in there.
There you go. All right, cool. Okay, now, more of a serious question. What does being a quarterback mean to you both on and off the field? So how would you conduct yourself? What does it mean to you to have that, to wear that moniker, which is important on your team?
Yeah, I think it just shows that I can be a leader both on and off the field, and I can hold myself to a certain standard.
In terms of leadership, what is the most important leadership lesson you've learned thus far in your career?
I think constructive criticism has really helped, like especially being a leader. Being able to almost be another coach to help your coaches out and be able to lead your team to the right direction.
In terms of your personal and team goals, what have you I think going into your senior year,
Yeah.
so what are your personal and team goals for this season?
Personal is just be the best version of myself that I can to help my team and teammates so we can reach that team goal of playoffs, counties, whatever it brings us, and just be the best version of myself.
What do you personally believe is the most, if you had to pick one quality for a quarterback, what would that be to you? What's the most important quality?
I think being able to stay calm and be loud at the same time. It's not easy to do all the time, but being able to be calm in any situation that you're in, and being able to lead your team in a timely manner is a good way to go about it.
Okay. Now, easy one, biggest influence on you?
Biggest influence on me would be my dad.
Okay.
He's just always pushed me and teach me how to work hard, and yeah.
Great. Now, another easy one, favorite pump-up song before a big game?
Favorite pump-up song, I think it has to be Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill.
Okay. Now, favorite pregame meal?
I have been doing peanut butter and jellies before every game.
All right, now the key is that strawberry or grape jelly?
Grape.
Grape,
Always
okay.
grape.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
And last, who is your favorite team to win the Super Bowl this year?
Oh man, I mean, I am a Giant fan, so that's not great, but I do love the Lions. I have them as a favorite this year.
All right, Tim, listen, great to have you, and good luck at the competition. All right, Shane, listen, I know you're a returning participant, but what excites you most about being selected and being able to participate against the top returning quarterbacks on Long Island this year at the Quarterback Challenge?
Yeah, I'm really excited to participate in it. I'm really glad that I got invited to this, and I can't wait to compete with the best quarterbacks on Long Island.
Okay, your favorite NFL quarterback and why?
I would have to say Josh Allen, just because I like the way he can run and throw the ball, and I like the way he holds himself on the field.
Now, what does playing quarterback mean to you both on and off the field? Because it's an important position of leadership and so forth. So to you, what does it mean both to compete on and off the field as the QB?
I think the biggest thing is definitely leadership on and off the field, and you have to compete every single day. No, we got to tell everyone on the team that you're the guy, you're the leader, and just make sure your team's doing whatever it takes to win.
Okay. Now, from your experience going into your senior year, what is the most important leadership lesson you've learned thus far?
I've learned a lot of lessons, resilience, perseverance, and just strength overall really helped me through these past 4 years on varsity being the quarterback.
In terms of goals, both personal and team goals, what are they for the 2025 season?
2025 season, having fun with my guys and win a championship for Oceanside.
Awesome. Now, if you had to pick one quality, I know it's hard, but what do you think is the most important quality a successful quarterback should have?
Short memory, I would have to say. Screw up one play, it's all right, the next play, just get right back at it.
Great, good answer. Now, it can be a difficult one, but who's had the biggest influence on your life and why?
Probably by my mom's parents, my mama and papa. They were really, I was really close to them before they passed, so probably them.
Okay. Now, a little bit easier, favorite pump-up song before a big game?
Probably Red Nation by The Game.
Okay. Now, favorite pregame meal?
I don't really like to eat before games, but if I had to, I always like a good bacon, egg, and cheese.
Okay, how about post-game then? If you win, what's your favorite post-game?
I love Chicken Parm Hero.
Chicken Parm Hero. Okay, great. And lastly, who is your favorite to win the Super Bowl this year?
I want the Bills because of Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen.
Gotcha. All right, well, listen, appreciate you coming by. I know you competed 2 years ago, but best of luck this year at the challenge. What is most exciting about being selected and participating in the 4th annual National Football Foundation Quarterback Challenge?
I would say definitely getting out and competing against some of the top guys on the island, some of the top quarterbacks, where we could all go showcase our skills and compete and hopefully do really great.
Now, easy one. Who's your favorite NFL quarterback and why?
I'd say probably Josh Allen because he's a very underrated guy in high school. Didn't really have a lot of offers, and then he grinded his way up to the top, and now he's a baller in the league. So it's really cool to see.
Awesome. Now, obviously, quarterback's a special, unique position. You're the only one on the field, as opposed to other positions where there's multiple guys. But what does it mean to be a quarterback to you, both on the field with your teammates and from a leadership standpoint off the field?
Yeah, on the field it's really cool. You get to control what happens every play, and you get to read the defenses and see what goes on, and definitely keep your guys in check, and definitely help them out if they're down, lift them back up. And then off the field, you could be a leader in the classroom, in school, outside, make good decisions with your guys, and it's really cool.
So far, what would you say is the most important leadership lesson you've learned since you've participated in football through the youth level, now through high school?
An important lesson I'd say is just to like be where your feet are and like know what's going on in that moment and like live in the moment and to like make good decisions in that moment.
Okay. Now, 2025 season, I know you guys won the county championship last year. Unfortunately, came up short in a really great, terrific game against Garden City. But what are some of your personal and team goals for this year?
Definitely team goals is to go 1-0 each week and then eventually get to the end of a 12-0 season and win a Long Island championship with the team. That'd be really awesome. And personal goals is to just perfect my craft and play a great season, play a great game each week.
From your perspective, what do you think the most important quality, if you had to pick one, a quarterback can have?
I'd say definitely like mental toughness or being mentally aware, because you got to be able to read a defense and you got to be able to know what's going on before the play to make the play happen. And then being able to take hits and get back up and keep delivering the ball is very important.
Awesome. Okay, now some quick ones, but who's had the biggest influence on you and why?
I'd say my cousin Jack, because he's a big quarterback trainer. He's a big guy that can text me and help me out if I have any questions or any problems. He can teach me how to read defenses, teach me plays and all that stuff. He's a big help on and off the field.
Okay, now, big game, favorite pump-up song?
I like Hell's Bells by AC/DC, and me and my dad used to listen to that going to PAL games back in the day, so it kind of gets me back in that mode and just gets me going.
Awesome. What is your go-to pregame meal?
I like to go a chicken Caesar salad wrap. I like the chicken for the protein, and then it's just been good luck ever since. So.
Awesome. Last one, who's your favorite to win the Super Bowl this year?
I got the Jets winning the Super Bowl this year.
Okay, all right. Listen, Patrick, thank you so much and best of luck in the competition. All right, Nick, congratulations again about being selected for this year. But just tell me a little bit about what it means to you to be selected and participate in the Long Island Quarterback Challenge.
I mean, it's definitely a great honor to be selected between all these quarterbacks on the island. You know, it means a lot to be named one of the top quarterbacks on the island. I'm just excited to go against them and compete.
Great. Now, an easier one. Who's your favorite NFL quarterback and why?
I would say Joe Burrow. Like the way he's composed. He has a little swag to him. I like that a lot.
Now, how about, obviously we know how important the quarterback position is, but what would you say, what does it mean to you to be a quarterback both on and off the field?
It's just like the leadership, like keeping everyone doing, just leading by example, seeing on the classroom and on the field, like whatever you do, kids should follow you, and just leading by example is probably the main thing.
All right, so if you had to pick one leadership lesson that you've learned so far in your career, what would it be?
Just being vocal. I feel like being vocal as a quarterback, especially, and making people know that you're the leader and like they like listen to you and just lead by example again.
So now last year Smithtown had a really good regular season and went to the playoffs, but for 2025, since you're the returning starter, what are your personal and team goals for this year?
Yeah, no, last year we had a great season. It came up short though. It's not what we wanted, but this year looking to get over that hump and get a county championship and a Long Island championship as well. Okay,
so now, if you had to pick one quality for a quarterback, I know it's tough, but what would you say is the most important quality a QB can have?
I would say composure. I mean, like being composed on the field is definitely a huge advantage, and just in big times, big moments, just being able to be composed on the field and make the big plays when they're needing to be made. Then I feel like that's the main thing.
Who's influenced you the most and why?
I'm gonna say my coach. My coach has really helped me throughout these past 2 years, and he's always been there for me, helping me, like doing everything, always by my side. And we're excited to go into the 2025 season together and go for it all.
What is your favorite pump-up song before a big game?
I'm not a big pump-up. I like a lot of Billy Joel before games. It keeps me calm. And I I'm gonna say Vienna by Billy Joel.
Okay. And go-to pregame meal.
If it's a morning game, I like Saturday afternoon. I like just eggs, steak and eggs in the morning. And if it's a night game, I'll probably have a bagel before, not too much before I eat, not too much before I play though.
Gotcha. Who's your favorite to win the Super Bowl this year?
I think the Eagles are gonna go back to back. I like the Eagles.
Okay. All right, Nick. Well, listen, thank you so much, and good luck this year at the event.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Smithtown West High School here on a beautiful Saturday morning, July 26, 2025. I'm Greg Sarah from Newsday Sports. We're excited to bring you the National Football Foundation Quarterback Challenge. And first, we'll give you the player introductions, quarterbacks and receivers for the boys event. We have 15 participants from 15 different high schools. And we will start with our first participant. Welcome to the National Football Foundation Quarterback Challenge here in 2025. Today's event will feature 15 of the best quarterbacks in Long Island high school football. Our first quarterback, Cy Fuller Asra from Farmingdale High School. He'll be joined by wide receivers Jacob Gould and Patrick Vido. Our next quarterback is Simon Blissett from Northport High School. His receivers are Grayson Cabrera and Daniel Miller. Our next quarterback is Patrick Cohn of Sayville High School. His receivers are Colin Darling and Luke Neugebauer. Quarterback Nick DeVito of Smithtown West High School, with wide receivers Colton Ford and Vincent Lepori. Quarterback Ethan Dizon of Syosset High School, with wide receivers Jackson Alder and Ragav Go. Quarterback Vinny Faraka of Connecticut High School, and his wide receivers Brian Boss and Jonas Mendez. Quarterback Jacob Guzik of Huntington High School, and his wide receivers Henry Gerberg and Yasir Jones. Quarterback Shane Harmon of Oceanside High School, and his wide receivers Jacob DiDio and Jacob Stern.
No, that's good.
Quarterback, Nick LaChapelle of Hop Hog High School, and his wide receivers, Vincent Farina and Christian Mooney. Quarterback, Antonio Marone of Smithtown East High School, and his wide receivers, Jonathan Jean and Craig O'Neill. Quarterback, Hudson Philbrick of Ward Melville High School, and his wide receivers, Louis Lapp and Connor McCrane. Quarterback, Peyton Robinson of Long Island Lutheran High School, and his wide receiver, Cameron Roy. Quarterback, Nick Sevilla of Half Hollow Hills East High School, and his wide receivers, Adrian Merchant and Ronaldo Peters. Quarterback, Tim Stanley of Levittown Division High School, and his wide receivers, Fetahira and George Gendel. Quarterback, Luke Taff of Half Hollow Hills West High School, and his wide receivers, Miles Red and Jaden Smith. There are your 15 quarterbacks for the Boys National Football Foundation Quarterback Challenge. Good luck to everyone here at Smithtown West High School. Our first drill will be the accuracy gauntlet drill. Each quarterback goes through this drill twice.
On this QB gauntlet drill, the quarterback will start on the numbers. On his go, he will sprint to the near hash, pick the ball up immediately, and throw the ball across the field to a moving target. He'll then sprint far across the hash and throw the ball to the next moving target, then back to the middle to a stationary target, then back to the original hash mark, and then finally to the far hash again. Each throw is thrown across the field. We are expressing the quarterbacks to be very explosive, very quick, to pick the ball up and quickly throw the football. This next video will demonstrate an example of the quarterback doing the drill the wrong way on purpose. He picks the football up here on the near hash. He actually watches the ball being thrown. You never want to watch the ball in the air. Then he'll pick up the next football, pause for a second, and throw the ball back across the field. We don't want to pause when we pick up a football, and we definitely don't want to watch it travel in the air. It's grip it, rip it, let it go, and throw it across the field.
All right, Coach Gill, thanks for the explanatory session for our fans, and so everybody understands exactly what the accuracy drill does, the quarterback gauntlet drill. Each quarterback will go through this drill twice, as Saifullah Asra of Farmingdale will kick things off. He'll be first as Coach Gill gives final instructions to all 15 quarterbacks and let the receivers know what their responsibilities are for this drill. Interesting situation. Most of the quarterbacks in today's quarterback challenge have very little experience at the high school level. And a lot of guys getting opportunities behind guys that were phenomenal starters for years. Asra, a senior, not a starter in 2024. He's one of those guys that Buddy Krumenack, a head coach at Farmingdale, feels can be a difference maker on the field for the Dalers. He'll throw first here in the accuracy drill. In this drill, wide receivers run corner and out routes to determine the ability to be accurate, releasing the ball before the wide receivers break. 2 to the left and 2 to the right for each route as they set up for this event. In this accuracy event, wide receivers will run corner and out routes to determine the ability of the quarterback for an accurate release of the ball before the wide receivers break. They will run 2 routes to the left and 2 to the right. Astra doing a nice job kicking off the accuracy event. Stepping in now. Our next quarterback is Simon Blissett from Northport High School. His wide receivers Grayson Cabrera and Daniel Miller. Simon Blissett of Northport, a rising junior. Had some playing time in 2024 as a backup quarterback. Showed some signs of a guy that could be a difference maker for Northport, for the Tigers. He rushed the ball for over 100 yards and a touchdown last season as he makes his way to each football, the gauntlet drill going back and forth. Not an easy drill. Turn your hips, make the throw, get it out there for the receiver to make the play. Going back across the field. Good arm strength, and then down the middle. Coach Gill telling guys, sprint on and off the field, show some enthusiasm, get after it. I'm sure some of the guys are a little bit nervous. No reason to be. Most of these guys are the leaders in their high school football programs. Our next quarterback is Patrick Cohn of Sayville. His receivers will be Colin Darling and Luke Neugebauer. Cohn, who had a monster year last year as a junior in 2024, led the Golden Flashes to the Suffolk County Championship. He was an all-division, all-county selection, captain of the team, threw for 2,300 yards, superior arm strength, great release, one of the top guys this year that we'll see on the football field. Long Island football, threw for 29 touchdowns last year, rushed for over 400 yards and 6 more scores. And he committed this summer to play at Lehigh University, so he's looking to have a great year and lead the Golden Flashes back to the title games. Sayville, one of the traditionally strong programs on Long Island. And Patrick Cohn, another in a long line of phenomenal quarterbacks in what has become a quarterback mill in Sayville. Our next quarterback is Nick DeVito of the hometown Smithtown West, with receivers Colton Ford and Vincent Lepori. DeVito making his way through his throws. Nice work. Quickly done. Starter as a junior in 2024. Led the team to an 8-2 record and a playoff victory. All-division selection. Threw for over 850 yards and 8 scores. Also rushed for 240 yards and 4 scores. He was a participant in the 2024 quarterback challenge, so he has a little bit of experience here as they set up for our next quarterback. Our next quarterback, Ethan Dizon of Syosset High School. His receivers are Jackson Alder and Ragav Go. Dizon looks good in this drill. Starter as a junior in 2024, threw for 1,613 yards, 15 touchdowns. Also rushed for 257 yards and 4 scores. He also participated in last year's quarterback challenge. These guys have a little bit of experience. We have a couple of returners who learned the ropes last year and knew what to practice this year. It gives them a little bit of an advantage. Our next quarterback is Vinny Faraka of Connecticut High School with receivers Brian Boss and Jonas Mendez. Faraka had a monster year for Connecticut. The T-Birds in 2024 threw for 16. Oh, no, actually, he threw for more than that. He threw for 2,242 yards and 25 scores. Rushed for 135 yards, 2 touchdowns, all-county selection, and a captain at Connecticut. They're banking on him having another big year this year, but he's been outstanding as a starter for the T-Birds. Our next quarterback is Jacob Guzig of Huntington High School with receivers Henry Gerberg and Yasir Jones. Guzig is also a starter in 2024. All division, threw for 1,210 yards and 5 touchdowns. Rushed for 527 yards and 5 more scores. Nice job leading his receivers to the sideline. Strong arm. Another really good job. Looked very comfortable out there. Our next quarterback is Shane Harmon of Oceanside High School with receivers Jacob Didio and Jacob Stern. Harmon also had a monster year last year for the Oceanside Sailors. Started as a junior, was an all-county and all-Long Island selection, captain of the Oceanside football team, threw for 1,842 yards and 20 scores. He rushed for 205 yards and another touchdown. Shane Harmon doing a nice job. So far, so good. Everybody's looked really strong. Looks like they understand the gauntlet drill and the accuracy and getting rid of the ball quickly. As our volunteers place the footballs down and keep the event moving. Outstanding job, all these volunteers for the National Football Foundation. Quarterback Nick LaChapelle of Hauppauge High School with Vinny Farina and Christian Mooney. LaChapelle emerged as a big-time quarterback last year, the left-handed throwing quarterback for the Hauppauge Eagles. He threw for 802 yards and 5 scores, rushed for another 258 yards and 2 scores. Our next quarterback is Antonio Marone of Smithtown East High School with receivers Jonathan Jean and Craig O'Neill. Fairly windy out here at Smithtown West High School, but they seem to be navigating the wind pretty well as Marone goes through the throws. Tougher throwing the ball left to right than right to left. He threw for 1,195 yards and 10 touchdowns as a junior and rushed for another 102 yards. Another participant in the 2024 quarterback challenge was Antonio Marone. Our next quarterback is Hudson Philbrick of Ward Melville High School. His receivers are Louis Lapp and Connor McCrane. Philbrick, another starter in 2024, threw for 1,195 yards and 10 touchdowns, rushed for 102 yards. He also participated in the QB Challenge in 2024. Led the Patriots to a big playoff push in 2024 and expected to do big things in 2025. That's Hudson Philbrick. Our next quarterback is Peyton Robinson of Long Island Lutheran High School. His wide receiver, Cameron Roy. And I'm sure we'll have a guest receiver to help them out, so we have 2 wideouts. Peyton Robinson, starter in 2024. He is a new head coach in Tequan Garner, taking over the program from Chris Reno. And Robinson had a spectacular season in 2024, really emerged as one of the top quarterbacks on Long Island. He was an all-academic team member, a captain of the team. He was a second-team All-Long Island selection, threw for 2,136 yards and 28 touchdowns. Also rushed for over 500 yards and 4 more scores. Watch for big things from Peyton Robinson in 2025. Our next quarterback is Nick Sevilla of Half Hollow Hills East High School. His wide receivers are Adrian Merchant and Ronaldo Peters. Sevilla was the starter at Hills East last year as a junior, led them to the Suffolk County Championship, their first in school history. Threw for 1,283 yards and 25 touchdowns. He also rushed for a score. Sevilla is a key to the Hills East Thunderbirds, and I'm sure they changed their name, and it escapes me at the moment. He's one of those guys that is going to be relied upon to maintain that level of excellence that helped them win the Suffolk County Division II championship last season in that big upset over East Islip High School. That's Nick Sevilla at Half Hollow Hills East. Our next contestant is Tim Stanley of Levittown Division High School with receivers Fetahira and George Gendel. Levittown Division, good year last year. Playoff-bound team. Brings back their starting quarterback in Tim Stanley. Real strong arm. A real athletic kid. All-conference, academic all-conference captain of the team. Threw for 1,728 yards and 17 touchdowns. Offensive coordinator Jay Heggai says that he expects big things from Tim Stanley this year. He also rushed for 180 yards and 3 touchdowns. So let's watch Levittown Division this year. Our next quarterback is Luke Taff of Half Hollow Hills West High School with receivers Miles Red and Jaden Smith. He's got some big shoes to fill, does Luke Taff, but he showed signs of being an outstanding quarterback as a backup to the Hanson Award winner Joe Filardi last year. He got in a few games, threw for 25 to 50 yards, rushed for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Big guy, can really run it, real good athlete, and Coach Gerald Filardi is excited about Luke Taff. And that'll do it for the accuracy portion of the National Football Foundation's Quarterback Challenge. The next segment will be when we come back, touch. How to throw the football with touch. Coach John Gill will take us through the touch portion of this event when we return.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
On this drill, the quarterback will first throw a 10-yard out. He'll take 3-step drop and hitch and throw the ball immediately upon the hitch. We want to throw the football as the receiver is still running his vertical stem. That was 10 yards out route to the left. This is 10-yard out route to the right. You notice that the quarterback is releasing the football just as the receiver's back is to him. The next 2 routes are, well, really one route, but it'll be both reps from each side. Will be a corner route. Again, the quarterback will take a 3-step drop and a hitch and immediately throw the ball while the receiver's back is to him. The next rep is done incorrectly on purpose. On this rep, the quarterback does not hitch. It's just a plant, and that will not get you the full amount of points on the rubric.
Quarterback's getting ready for the anticipation drill. It is our second segment here at the National Football Foundation Challenge. Coach Gill explaining to everybody exactly what the quarterback is supposed to do in this drill. We're going to go down to Coach Gill and let him explain what's going on in just a moment as they take Saifullah Asra of Farmingdale through this anticipation drill. Coach Gill taking Saifullah Asra from Farmingdale through the anticipation drill. Asra showing great arm strength. Ball's thrown on time with real good velocity and excellent touch on deeper out routes. Very impressive. Looks like they've been working pretty well in the summer with their 7-on-7s. He's got some real rapport with both of his receivers, Jacob Gould and Patrick Vido. That was Saifullah Asra of Farmingdale High School. Nice work. Our second quarterback, Simon Blissett of Northport High School, takes the snap. First Blissett goes out route, 10 yards, both receivers. Grayson Cabrera and Daniel Miller on time with all of his throws. Now they go a little bit deeper. Actually, it's pretty much the same, 10 yards and out. Ball's thrown on time. Give the receiver an opportunity to catch the football and turn it upfield. Blissett, 3-step drop, hitch, throw to the corner. Much deeper throw now. Now they're going 20 yards. Receiver on the break at around 15. Coach Gill getting his workout down the field. And now the quarterbacks get to air it out a little bit more. Longer out route to the corner. 20 to 25 yards. Deep throws. Really nice job by Simon Blissett, Northport High School. Next up, quarterback Patrick Cohn of Sayville High School. It's got to be tough to be the quarterback at Sayville High School and knowing that all the great quarterbacks who came before you, and if I start naming them and leave some of them out, I'll feel terrible. But the first one that comes to mind is the same name, the namesake, Jack Cohn, his cousin, one of Long Island's greatest quarterbacks of all time. And, you know, you look at all the records that were set over the years, quarterbacks from Sayville, Stephen Ferrara. I mean, there's just so many of them, and it would be wrong to try to name everybody. But it goes back to the 70s where Sayville had great quarterbacks. I know Coach John Gill loves that. He loves to talk about the old-time quarterbacks. And they didn't throw as much as they do now with the spread offense. But some of these kids are really thriving in the wide-open offensive sets. And Cohn is one of them. Cohn has great touch. He's had experience since his sophomore year, opportunities to play in big games with injuries to quarterbacks that were the starters in those years. It's something to watch. You know, they got a great quarterback coach in Rob Haas. He works very hard with the offense and with the quarterbacks. And Cohn is another example of why Sayville is always in the mix to win the Suffolk County Championship, as he does a really nice job on his drill for anticipation. Our next quarterback is Nick DeVito of Smithtown West High School. You look back at some of the records at Smithtown West High School and the monster years some of their quarterbacks put up. Throwing the football, well, actually not playing great defense, but playing, you know, street ball, trying to outscore opponents. There was games against North Babylon that was 75-60, 55-50. And those are big numbers, but part of the Smithtown West push the last 2 years was to play a better defensive game because the offense was prolific. And you look back at some of their wide receivers and Jacques LaPrairie and some of the other guys that were just dominant. They were not coverable. And it's funny, when you watched LaPrairie and Mallory and all those kids just running amok on the Smithtown West offense, you're like, if you could play some defense, you could win a county championship. So DeVito comes in as the next big-time quarterback at Smithtown West. He shows a big arm there in that drill. Our next quarterback is Ethan Dizon. Hey, we'll have Rob Blount up here as one of our interviews shortly. He will join us in the booth. Dizon, who had a big-time year, completing 51% of his passes last year for Syosset. Another high school program that's really done a nice job in developing quarterbacks as Dizon throws his out patterns. Our next quarterback is Vinny Faraka of Kennequot High School. Joining us now in the booth, legendary quarterback and fantastic coach Rob Blount of Oceanside High School. And Rob, nice to have you.
Thanks for having me today.
So your first impressions on the first two drills here, what are your thoughts?
No, I love the first one. It's really to get the players to be able to move right to left, being able to pick up the ball, load, and get the ball up to far targets. What many people probably don't realize is that's a difficult throw, and they're putting the ball about 45, 50 yards in the air, so that's a tough throw. You see some of the balls maybe dying out, but that's a tough throw for high school players, and this is a great one here. Talking about the anticipation, being able to get the ball at the top of the drop, get it out on the break via out cuts and your corner out. So it's these guys are doing a nice job getting the balls up in the air. Receivers are doing a good job making the quarterbacks look good.
As a quarterback, how do you feel about the wind today? Is it affecting the throws? Is it right to left? Is it at their back?
It's not too bad right now. It's pretty calm.
Yeah.
So it's definitely nice for them. I know as a quarterback, you like to have a little bit of gust on your back, give you a little extra juice, especially as this competition goes on. But we've got a beautiful day here today, so the element shouldn't be too much of a factor.
You've been here all the few years that we've been here with the National Football Foundation, and I think that they're getting prepared for this event. That it seems like they all know the drill, right? And it looks like the talent is just getting better and better.
No, absolutely. I know Coach Gill is very organized in how he does things, and he definitely, they go over the drills before the showcase happens. But you can see that some of these kids now they're practicing it, leading into it, which is very nice to see.
Our next quarterback is Jacob Guzik of Huntington High School. This is quarterback Jacob Guzik of Huntington High School. Sometimes that mic in the stadium goes out, and I hear myself, but we don't hear anybody else. So, a bunch of guys, Rob, have experience in this event from last year. Mm-hmm. I think that's an advantage.
Huge. When you come into this as your first time, you're obviously very nervous. You're worried about, how am I going to make my throws? How am I comparing to the other guys? Coming back as year two, obviously you're just like a second-year starter. It's a whole lot of comfortability that's there, and it's definitely a big factor for a lot of these guys being able to do it the second time.
When you look at quarterbacks like Luke Taff of Hellfire Hills West, there's a bunch of guys, Saifullah Asra of Farmingdale. They didn't get a lot of time behind fantastic quarterbacks the last year or two. and now this is their time. This is their opportunity. What I noticed walking out on the field today was the shape that everybody is in. These guys they're in game shape. They're ready to go.
No, 100%. You can see a lot of these guys now, especially with high school athletics, a lot of people are spending more time with personal trainers and they get themselves prepared, ready to go. The old days are just, waiting till August 18th and roll out. Those days aren't there as much.
Not as many beach days?
Not as many beach days, but you can tell that these guys physically are all, pretty prepared and ready to go.
Are you surprised at the size of some of these guys and the thickness and, how big they are?
No, absolutely. And you look at some of these guys, and you can tell that they've been preparing, for this, and obviously just sports altogether with a multi-sport athletes, and they're definitely in shape.
Well, this is your guy. Quarterback is Shane Harmon of Oceanside High School. So Shane's had, a wild odyssey at Oceanside with you guys. He was the man as a sophomore, and then he was kind of splitting time early on as a junior, and then emerged as the guy towards the end of last year. Where's he at?
No, he's doing great. He's got some story. Started as a freshman, sophomore, and then his junior year, he ended up getting knocked out of a game, and he kind of lost his job there. But he's done a great job for us overall, and his footwork is great. He throws the ball on time, and he's going to be a guy that makes things work for us.
You're another program that, in the last decade, I would say, has really gotten deep into the spread offense and scored a lot of points. And that seems to be the way. I did see a change last year in some teams where defense was important, whereas it was shootouts all the time. If you could outscore the guy, you win the game. But now people are focusing a little bit more on defense and shutting down the passing game. Do you see that?
100%. You see now with the advent of the spread passing game, more people obviously being prepared, for all those coverages and being ready to go for all the routes. At the end of the day, defense wins championships. That's always going to be the case, and you look at it, especially when you get later in the season.
Quarterback is Nick LaChapelle of Hop Hog High School.
Throwing the ball around is great during when it's in September, but in November you better be able to run the ball and play some defense.
You need some big stops, and in your conference with Massapequa, Oceanside, Syosset, Farmingdale, it's always going to be the team that plays better defense in those playoff games. It's not who outscores each other.
100%. We really don't see as much of the shootouts in Nassau 1 that we may see in some of the Suffolk shootouts in Division 3
I was
and
talking
2.
to Smithtown West before. They scored 60 points in a game and lost.
No, 100%.
Last year. North Bab scored 75 in that game. It was like, do you remember when, who played at Stony Brook University? It was Sayville and Lawrence.
Sayville Lawrence, yeah.
Those games were ridiculous.
Oh, nuts.
I was doing
78. Joey Capienko and those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
78-61, I think, was the final. And Carl Reuter, and we were looking at each other after every series. We're like, seriously? And Carl was like, I've never made so many touchdown calls in my life. It was just wild.
No,
and those games are fun, but they can be frustrating for fans when people can just do whatever they want.
100%. And that's why you need some good defense. It keeps it interesting, and it definitely keeps the offensive guys in check.
Quarterback is Antonio Marone of Smithtown East High School. So this event is kind of cool in that you guys do a great job with the football game at New York City National Football Foundation and against Long Island, New York City and Long Island, bringing back the Boomer Empire Challenge in a different form, but very similar. And the excitement of that gets football back in everybody's minds early in the summer. And then the Quarterback Challenge at the end of July breaks it up. But does it really break it up? Because it's different now. Everybody does 7-on-7s. Everybody's in the weight room. It's football on your mind all summer.
No, 100%. And pretty much all programs now are, everyone's going 3 days a week lifting and whatnot, and everyone's got a 7-on-7, if not 2 7-on-7 days. So it's nice to see the growth of football, especially I've been doing this now for 17, 18 years at Oceanside. Like, you're seeing the change throughout all programs. You're seeing more stuff over the off season, which is nice to see.
As we see Antonio Marone finishing up. Quarterback is Hudson Philbrick of Ward Melville High School. So funny thing, I watched Hudson Philbrick quarterback last year. It's a great story. He had a fantastic game, great kid, very personable. And I said, do you mind if I ask you a personal question about your name? And he's like, no, absolutely not. What? I go, where does Hudson come from? Mm-hmm. So he starts laughing and he says, I could tell you a great story. And I said, I'm going to write it next year when you're a senior, because I'm sure it's going to be worthy of people reading it, and it totally is. So And I got to get all the details again because it's something that when I write it, I want it to be fun. But I said, where'd your parents come up with that name Hudson? It's like royalty. It's a great name. He goes, no, it's not. He goes, we had a dog in the family named Hudson, and they loved the name. Golden Retriever. It's like, that's awesome.
I tell you what, Hudson's throwing some pretty nice balls out here right now.
He's got a great arm. He's a big boy, and he's a big-time leader. And I know that Chris Boltrek is very lucky to have him, and he's very high on him. He led them to a big playoff run last year, and Warden Rebels emerged as one of the top programs in Suffolk Division I.
Absolutely. Chris has done a tremendous job. He's been there probably about 10 years now, I want to say. But Chris has done a great job, and really they throw the ball around a lot in Suffolk 1, which gives them a nice advantage because they have a lot of lacrosse baseball athletes, and it's a good way to get them involved.
Yeah, he looks good, and again, Ward Melville will do battle with Floyd.
Yep.
Longwood. Connecticut should be very good with Vinny Faraka back at quarterback. He's one of the top quarterbacks on Long Island. As we move on to next quarterback is Peyton Robinson of Long Island Lutheran High School. Interesting program at Long Island Lutheran. They've turned from what used to be in the early point of my career just another, and like an afterthought. Oh yeah, Long Island Lutheran had a game. They play independent ball. They don't play any really good competition.
Mm-hmm.
That has totally changed. In the last, I would say, 5 to 7 years, Chris Reno has taken that program more to a national level, and he's had guys go on play at big-time colleges, and he's got a guy or two in the NFL. I mean, it's a real program.
No, 100%. It's funny, like you said, in the old days, you think the Lehigh is just basketball.
Right.
And Chris has done a great job over the past couple of years. I know they have a new coach this year, but they got some good players, and people are going there now, so they're doing some pretty good things over there.
He's got some nice touch, and I know you don't want to tell everybody too much about them because then you got kids leaving the program, but they get a lot of kids from out of the area, out of state, and this kid Peyton Robinson's got some nice touch.
No, he really does, and he's got Kamal Roy's son now catching the ball for him, so that's a nice weapon to have.
So they just hired Tequan Garner. We're going to have him on the show a little bit later. I'd like to interview him and talk to him about what his plans are moving forward. Have you met him?
Yes, actually, we met him on last Wednesday at the 7-on-7. Real good guy.
Yeah, terrific interview when our guys called over there to hear about the coaching change. I'm a little surprised that Chris Reno moved on, but he put the program in a good place and really did a nice job.
No, 100%.
Quarterback is Nick Sevilla of Half Hollow Hills East. I got to remember to turn on the other mic because I'm doing
both,
multitasking here. It's great. You know what? I'd do anything for Lenny and those guys. It's good. Nick Sevilla, another guy who didn't really have to throw too much last year. His stats are a little underwhelming, but not because he can't. He's got a good arm. He's got good touch. He can run, but when you have Daniel White in the backfield,
exactly.
You don't have to throw the ball too much.
I'd take a Daniel White in my backfield any day.
Oh.
And that's kind of the thing. You look at some of these, some of the players. It's tough to look at stats. They're all misleading. Some schools throw the ball 40 times a game. Other guys, like this guy, they may throw it 15 times a game.
Well, it makes it hard too with trying to pick all-stars, all Long Island, all county. You know that.
Absolutely.
Somebody's statistics can be, like I would say, underwhelming, but it's because he was out at the half.
Exactly.
There's many times where classy coaches pull the plug at the half, and a guy will end up with Garden City's a perfect example.
100%.
Halftime, Dave Ettinger pulls everybody out, but that is part of the reason and the formula why Garden City is always good, because all the kids that are on the scout team, the backup team, they get experience in those blowouts. So the following year, they step right into those roles like it's no big deal.
They get tons of experience, and like when you have situations like that, and those guys are getting a half a game for 8 games, 7 games, like that's really a big help for their program being successful.
Quarterback is Tim Stanley of Levittown Division High School. Another interesting quarterback. Emerged last year with Jay Haggai as the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Son of Mike Stanley, the Cary head coach. Terrific kid, academic kid. Throws the ball really well. It's funny. He's another one that in 7-on-7s looks really good. But how much will they throw the ball at Levittown, right?
Yeah, and actually, I've watched a bunch of his games. They've thrown the ball a lot more in the past year with him. But more exciting to watch him. You see him run power read and pull the ball down and run. He's a terrific lacrosse player, and he has some serious giddy up when he runs the ball. Great vision, and he's spunky. He's got that little grit factor to him, and I'm excited to see what he does this year going into his senior year.
Well, the last time Division was in a Long Island championship was back in the Ice Bowl against Bellport at Hofstra, Hofstra Stadium. And
that's with Eric Whedon.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, he was special.
And Bruno was the coach. Remember Fred Bruno?
Yep.
And I remember going down on the field at halftime. I like to watch the second half of most Long Island championship games on the field.
Okay.
And I went back in the press box. The wind and the cold. It was the coldest game in the history of the LIC. I mean, it was brutal. And Division had a huge win in that game. It was a low-scoring game, and they you talk about grit.
Oh, yeah.
They had grit. Quarterback is Luke Taff of Half Hollow Hills West High School. So here's a perfect example. He's coming in after a guy that totaled, what was the number we had at the like 24,000 all-purpose yards?
I mean, what Filardi did.
Joseph Filardi. But he was as much a 1,000-yard running threat, Filardi, as he was a 3,000-yard passing threat.
Absolutely.
And in his junior year, he was unfairly criticized for running up the score and for doing too much, offensively, like not necessary. Not true. They didn't play defense. They did a better job on defense last year.
Oh, 100%.
And his numbers were still outstanding.
Yeah, he did some special things. They obviously have a good thing going on there. And just taking a look at Luke right now, it looks like he's a pretty good quarterback. He made some real nice throws so far.
It's also easy to quarterback when Anthony Rayo is one of your wide receivers and Jesse Brooks is the other one.
That definitely helps.
Hey, Rob, thanks for joining us. It was fantastic. Love seeing you all the time. Good luck this year, but I'll be out to see you early.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, man.
All right.
When we come back, John Gill will take us through the next segment of the National Football Foundation's Quarterback Challenge.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Good afternoon and welcome everyone. My name is Len Genova and I'm the president of the James C. Metzger, Suffolk County chapter of the National Football Foundation. Welcome to our fourth. a 7-on-7 component the Wednesday night before the competition, and last symposium where the got to hear from some great speakers, and we're fortunate to have one of them with us here this morning. His name is Michael Willett, of Walk On Nation, that he started post-playing, and it's all about helping athletes from their athletic career to life after that. So, Michael, welcome, and thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Lynn, for having me. It's truly a pleasure.
And just a question, we talked earlier, but if you had to give advice to the young men and their parents in terms of what do you find the most challenging in terms of transitioning from athletics to life after it, what does that say about you, and what advice or techniques can they do to help themselves?
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a twofold question. I think, one, being an athlete is what you do. It's not who you are, so don't put your whole life in sports, because at the end of the day, football is supposed to be fun. After a while, it stops being fun. We put pressure on ourselves, and we lose the fun of the game. This is a kid's game at the end of the day. And for parents, be a parent. When they come home to hear enough from coaches and everyone else on the sidelines, just be a support system. Nothing more, nothing less. Let your kid have fun and just tell them this is more to life than football at the end of the day.
And I think what was I know you talked so eloquently last night about how difficult that transition was, after football and how it made you feel. So if you had to give just a technique or something you could suggest to the kids when they're really hurting and they feel that, hey, it's over, I got injured and I can't play this year, what would you suggest how they approach that?
Breathe and relax. You don't understand how much you've already done in life. Sometimes you have to pull the lens back, see all the things you have accomplished. Most people haven't done what you've accomplished, and just looking back and being thankful for what you've done. It took me a while to do that, if I'm being honest, but looking back, I had 3 conference championship rings, traveled the country. I'm grateful for what happened.
Well, listen, it was a great story. Michael is originally from Long Island in North Babylon, but moved down when he was a youngster to Florida, but we appreciate you coming up. It was truly terrific. The young men and the coaches in attendance really enjoyed it. Thank you for supporting the chapter, and hope to see you next year.
Of course, Lynn. Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Michael. Be well. Okay.
Right, the toes of the quarterback start right on the goal line. You take a 3-step drop and a hitch. And again, the most important thing is the ball goes as close to the crossbar as possible, keeping a very, very low trajectory. Obviously, it cannot be a complete line drive, but you want it barely over the crossbar. Then the next component will be receivers on the move. So the receiver will start, again, 5 yards behind the goal post. The quarterback will take the same footwork, 3-step drop and a hitch. And again, we're looking for the ball to be right over the crossbar, as low trajectory as possible. It cannot be a complete line drive. And lastly, we'll see the receiver from the other direction. All right, 3-step drop by the quarterback and hitch, and the ball goes right over the crossbar.
That was Coach Gill explaining the touch segment of the National Football Foundation Quarterback Challenge. I want to thank Michael Willett, the CEO and founder from Walk On Nation, outstanding speaker, motivational speaker, former Long Islander from North Babylon. I would love to see him play football here before he left and went down south, but it all worked out for him. Won a couple championship rings. Saifullah Asra of Farmingdale will be our first participant in the touch segment. This is kind of cool. You got to be able to throw the football over the crossbar with velocity to a stationary target and to a moving target as Asra gets ready to go. That's a well-thrown football. They don't want to see you lobbing it over it like a fade. They want velo on there so that nobody can come and knock your pass down. Gill's explaining to the receivers that he wants them in a certain spot when the ball is delivered. Nice catch in the back of the end zone. Beautiful day here at Smithtown West. We are in the 3rd drill of the National Football Foundation's Quarterback Challenge. This is the touch drill, where quarterbacks throw from the end line, from the goal line into the end zone, behind the goalposts, and they try to throw with enough velocity so they don't hit the crossbar or the goalpost to a receiver standing approximately 7 yards behind the crossbar. Simon Blissett drills the crossbar. That one's a good throw. They usually get 3 throws each to a stationary target, and then 3 throws to a moving target. Our volunteers spreading everybody out so they know what receiver they're throwing to.
Jared Paluzzi to the press box. Jared Paluzzi. Here's Patrick Cohn from Sable.
Patrick Cohn of Sayville stands in. We'll be joined shortly in the booth by Jared Veluzzi. I'm looking forward to that conversation. He knows more about high school football than pretty much anybody out there. An extraordinary talent, writer, just graduated from Emerson College. Love working with him. He's been helpful for the last, I would say, since he's been in high school. He's really enthusiastic, passionate about what he does, and somebody that has a future in journalism. As Patrick Cohn finishes up, and the next quarterback stepping in will be Nick DeVito of Smithtown West. Our judges for today's boys event are Steve Fasciani, the president of the Suffolk County Football Coaches Association, and an assistant football coach at West Islip High School. Steve's done a fantastic job since taking over in the Suffolk County Football Coaches Association for Hans Wiedeke, who was a legendary coach at Babylon High School and then at Shoreham Wading River High School. Also did a great job running the Coaches Association, was super helpful to myself and my colleagues at Newsday. I never thought anybody could fill Hans's shoes, and Steve's done a pretty good job. I would say he's right there. And not afraid to ask questions, not afraid to even call Hans and say, hey, look, here's what's going on. What do we do? You know, what's your recommendation? And then take it from there. And you always like people who aren't afraid to ask for help or ask for questions. And Steve's done a fantastic job since taking over. And I thank him for that, because it makes our job easier at Newsday. Our other coach, our other judge for the boys event is Cam Orth, a former quarterback at Long Island University in Bowling Green, currently completing his last year of eligibility at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Ethan Dizon going through his drill, getting the ball over the goalpost. A little bit of height there. And he should get one more throw there. Yep. Working on his footwork. Greg Sauer of Newsday Sports, now joined by the infamous Jared Veluzzi. Veluzzi Sports is in the house. Hi, Jared.
Hey, Greg. Thank you so much for having me up here, man.
Come on, man. I wanted you have you up here.
Yeah, no, this is a phenomenal event, man. I mean, already a couple, segments in. It's been awesome. A lot of top QBs on Long Island, of course, and they're really showcasing their talent. It's pretty special.
So questions, I don't see any of the Catholic school quarterbacks here, and I don't know why none of them were picked, or maybe you might know, but is the Catholic League, do you have anybody like Gary Merrill in the Catholic League this year, or is it not quarterback heavy, it's running back heavy?
Well, obviously Gary Merrill, special player.
Yep.
And now St. Anthony's this year, the guy will be Xavier Bala. They kind of have a quarterback competition going on. So that'll be interesting to tell. But Kellenberg, they have a good quarterback, Daniel Licari, who should be fun to watch this season. Chaminade, they have a rising junior by the name of Sean Carnavale, who was the backup on varsity last year. He should be fun.
Talk about exciting. This is Vinny Faraka of Connecticut High School. This kid can throw it all over the field. I think he gives the T-Birds a shot to win every game he's on the field. You agree?
Yeah, I mean, he had, I believe, well over 2,000 yards last season. The duo that he forms with Javon Barnwell is going to be something special this upcoming year. And, yeah, Faraka, I believe he's like 6'3". He slings it. Like when you look at his tape, he's making every type of throw. It's really exciting. He's doing his thing here today as well.
I described you as a passionate guy in the field, of journalism, and that your talents are also doing TV, doing radio, whatever it has to be, podcasts. But you also develop lists and on your own. I mean, you did it since high school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What drew you to high school sports to be so involved, to want to do these kind of things?
Man, I mean, when I first started it, like you mentioned, in high school when I was a freshman or sophomore, I, kind of fell in love with the Friday Night Lights aspect of it. But then when I was telling these stories of, these kids, it gives them lifelong memories. And I really realized it when I was, in college, coming back, and when I started to gain a little bit of a following and was getting views, because not only does it help kids, it puts a smile on their face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jacob Guzik of Huntington now in the touch phase of the quarterback challenge. And this is a cool event. I figured you would be out here. Like, you'd be ready for this event. I knew you were going to be a part of this.
Yeah, no, and this one specifically right here, the touch challenge, there's so many smooth passers on Long Island, especially over the last couple years. This is definitely one of my favorites that I've seen in the quarterback challenge. It's really fun.
Shane Harmon's jumping in now. We had Rob Lant on earlier, and
the man.
I can divulge this. I worked out one of the participants earlier in the week to show them some of the drills, because everybody wants an edge. Everybody wants a little bit of, because there's a bunch of guys that were here last year that have experience. They have a big advantage over everybody else. Not just that they know what the drills are and what is expected by Coach Gill, but also the nervousness. You can tell me you're not nervous, but when you come out here and you're on stage and you're front and center on a beautiful summer day, and everybody's looking at you, and all the best quarterbacks on Long Island arguably are here. We might have missed a couple, maybe not. Maybe someone will emerge this season. You can't tell me that there's not a little bit of nervousness and little jitters.
No, there definitely is, right? I mean, when you're, especially on that first challenge, when you're stepping out there and you got 14 other guys who are incredible at the position, kind of just staring you down as you're throwing. And, I mean, you're throwing on the run. You're moving here as well. And it's just really, really challenging. But a lot of these kids have really rose to the occasion, and it's been impressive.
I don't want to test your memory too much, but who was the quarterback at Syosset 2 years ago?
Oh, Mustafa Mazzawala.
Guess where he emerged as a guy? Right here.
Yep.
Quarterback challenge. He won it.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, it was unreal. He's one of the more unknown guys
coming in.
Who is this
guy?
Yeah.
Right. So
amazing.
Now that happens today, Jared, right? And then I look at the list of all the quarterbacks that are here, and I'm saying to myself, who's the next guy that's going to come out here? Mazzawilla. Who's going to be that guy, right?
Yeah.
And Syosset has a guy here. Ethan Dizon. He's a stud.
Mm-hmm. He's excellent, and he had a solid junior season, but still kind of flying under the radar
because
a little
Filati
bit.
And some of these
Exactly.
other guys.
You have all those studs.
Brady Nash, Gary Merrill,
yeah, Joey Diesso, all those superstars.
That's a great story in itself.
Oh yeah.
What does he weigh? 110 pounds.
It's unbelievable.
He's amazing.
He's 5'9", 145 pounds, soaking wet. He's one of the best athletes on all of Long Island.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, football, lacrosse, it doesn't matter. The kid is phenomenal. Yeah, man, it's special.
Costarelli was not a big guy either.
No.
Thomas Costarelli weighed about 160 maybe, but he had a cannon and he was tough. I used to watch their games, and whenever he would run or Diesso would run, I'd be like, oh no, because you just think they're gonna get hurt because they're small.
Yeah.
But they're so fast and elusive, great vision. There's just so much to the quarterback position, So I enjoy your lists. So it gives me a head start on some of the top 100 on people that maybe myself or my staff missed. It's always good to get other opinions and to throw it out there to the people who know. And out of respect to what you've done the last 6 years of your life, it doesn't matter. You're a young guy. I mean, people start young when they do things. People will say to me, well, everybody's got a list. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's all arbitrary for the most part.
Yeah, a lot of its opinions.
But it's good to hear other opinions and see what everybody says. As Antonio Marone goes through his drills from Smithtown East, it's this quarterback challenge. This is such a big deal for me. My staff is here. Matt Lindsay's helping out on the mic. I have down on the field Jolie Katzen, Carissa Kelman, Jonathan Rubin. It's fantastic for my staff because we get to see the top 15 quarterbacks
in the middle of the summer as they're preparing for the high school season. It's a head start, and preparedness is the biggest thing, right? Would you say?
Yeah, 1,000%, Greg. Getting to really see these guys live, slinging it,
Yeah.
it's amazing. And also, one of my favorite parts about this, they're coming out with their receivers too, from their school. And you really see the chemistry, and you see some very talented wideouts, and it really is a true preview of what we're getting. And also, some of these teams, you have Connecticut and Hills East here, right? Like, these are guys that are going to be going head-to-head during the season against each other, so it's fun.
So when we look at different names in all the surveys that we get, every coach sends in a survey every year, and you see different names. Hudson's different as a first name, and I had told the story earlier about how his parents named him Hudson, which I'll share with you later because I already told the story. It's an awesome story, but he's going to be one of my favorite quarterbacks this year because he's linked to golden retrievers. And I have Yogi, so it's just one of those things. The kid was so, sometimes you talk to somebody you haven't talked to. I walked to the locker room with him pretty much after one of the games. Wow. Impressive human being.
Oh, wow.
And that's something that it resonates with you as you've been in the business for a long time. And I've been doing this a long time as Peyton Robinson of Long Island Lutheran stands in. And I always think I've seen it all, and I haven't. I see something new all the time. We've never seen anything like Joseph Filati. Right?
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
And I never thought I would see that. And I ran into an old football player who's a prominent name in Comstock history at Miller's Ale House in Lake Grove a week ago. I was out with Ray Nelson of Orland and Cohen, and we were having a bite, and I walked in, and it was Comstock legend Kevin Cassis walking out. Now, that might be before you were born.
It is, yeah.
Okay?
It's before my time.
He was a phenomenal athletic talent, and he was not just great in football as a quarterback and a D-back. He was also a phenomenal lacrosse player. He went on to be a great lacrosse coach at Lehigh, and now he's at the University of Virginia. And Kevin was walking out, and I was walking in, and he was like, yo! And he gave me a big hug. And it just felt so good that a guy from 30 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Was so excited and happy to see me because of what you said. Everybody that you write about, everybody that you feature, everybody that you meet, everybody that you talk to, because of Veluzzi Sports and because of what you represent, okay, it's exciting. And they talk about it, and they never forget it. And Kevin and I Kev was leaving. He had already met some friends and was leaving. I said, why don't you sit with me and Ray for a little while and just talk, because they know each other well, too.
Yeah.
And he did. He spent some time with us, and it was phenomenal going down memory lane.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He had some of the best touchdown runs against the phenomenal Bethpage teams of the 90s.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about them.
Nick Sevilla of Half Hollow Hills East just completed his touch phase, and now Tim Stanley of Levittown Division stands in number 14. But it's those kind of moments that make it all worth it.
100%, man. Like when you, especially because I've kind of gotten like the early glimpses of it, right? When like kids are going into college and like, they're a couple years in and they're like, you covered me in high school. Like I remember like those videos and like they get all pumped about it. It's the best. I'm really happy to like kind of continue doing that. And it also gives them exposure too, especially on social media now. That's very important. So it's all good. And, one of the best things that like I do, you guys at Newsday do, all very positive coverage, all uplifting, and it's incredible.
You got to remember they're high school kids.
Exactly.
You got to remember they have their whole lives ahead of them, and they don't forget these moments. They really don't. We stay away from, the negative as much as we can. That's possible.
100%.
Unless it's news and we have no choice. But the bottom line is you're making memories. They're taking the paper home. They're keeping the paper. They're cutting out their name in the paper.
Yep.
But you're a little bit ahead of your time. You started your own little podcast. You did your own thing. You do your own lists on social media. You put it out there. You're knowledgeable. You're prepared. You were a huge help in the National Football Foundation, New York City, Long Island Challenge. I could not have thanked you more for all the New York City information. It actually prompted me to have a little bit of vision to help with Newsday doing a little bit more football coverage, which was proposed at our last meeting. I had proposed to the higher-ups, to the hierarchy there, as Luke Taff of Fair Follow Hills West steps in the touch phase. I said, wouldn't it be good if we expanded the Catholic coverage a little bit and include in a 2-page section the PSAL? Because I see how much the PSAL wants the coverage.
Oh, they want it bad.
But that would increase
Yeah.
our viewership. That would get more people on digital.
It would skyrocket.
Skyrocket?
Like, I'm one of, especially when it comes to writing and like commentary portions of it, I'm one of the only people that that cover the PSAL, and let me tell you,
You're invaluable, bro.
The kids and coaches though, like they just love it. So.
All right, we're gonna break, but you're not leaving. I got you tied to the press box. When we come back, we'll go into our next segment for the National Football Foundation's Quarterback Challenge. We'll go with arm strength when we return here at Smithtown West High School. It's Greg Sarah from Newsday Sports.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
All right, on this cover 2 hole shot determining arm strength here, we're starting from the college hash, which is 2 yards inside the high school hash. The quarterback will take a 3-step drop and throw the ball with a low trajectory, as close to a line drive as possible to prevent the imaginary safety from making a play. We'll do it from both sides, again from the college hash, 2 yards inside the high school hash, 3-step drop and hitch, and the ball will be thrown with as low a trajectory as possible, imagining the safety on the hash mark, not being able to make the play because of the ball's flight.
Concevich. We're back at Smithtown West. Greg Sarah of Newsday Sports, joined in the press box by Jared Veluzzi of Veluzzi Sports. You have your own thing. It's like a V for Victory Sports. Did you ever think of that?
Yeah, no, I mean, Veluzzi Sports, or, Uzi Sports as well. Some people reference me as Uzi, which is pretty funny. But
look who's in the background. It's Jolie Katzen and Carissa Kelman in the press box. Hello, ladies. So everybody's here at the Quarterback Challenge. It's a midsummer event that everybody looks forward to. I look forward to it because it's not just the boys, it's the boys and the girls.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray's in the house. Everybody's here today. It's beautiful out.
Yeah.
You cannot get a better day. You can only hope the football games this year have weather like this.
Need it, please. Please.
Coach John Gill is getting everybody together, and he's going to talk to all the quarterbacks right now for the next event, which is arm strength.
All right, guys, you got to release it right at the 50-yard line. It can go out of the end zone. It goes out of the end zone. That's 60 yards and plus, so we'll try to do the best we can. Okay, you can run up from the 40. You don't have to run up, but you can't cross the 50. Okay, you can use 10-yard run up or not. Okay, let's go. We get 2 throws each. 2 throws each.
So we did this the other day at Newfield High School. We wanted to test arm strength for guys to throw. So Jay Haggai, the offensive coordinator at Division High School, said he could throw a football 50 yards, and he can't. But he did throw it 40.
Okay.
He did. And, I think he's having surgery Tuesday on the shoulder.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
No, so he's like, hot shot, how about you? You throwing a football? I said, in my prime, I could throw a football 60 plus, 63 yards, I think, was my most ever thrown in my flag football heyday. But I threw the other day, and I didn't want to hurt my arm.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And it was half of that. It was 34 yards. And it was a nice line drive throw, but I didn't want to test it and do anything, But it's harder than you think. Like, these guys all think they can throw a football 60 yards. They can't. So what will win this, what won it last year for this event, was a couple of throws at 62 yards. So throw from midfield. And if they reach the end zone, that's impressive. As our first contestant, Saifullah Asra of Farmingdale, came up just a little bit short on his throws. Again, not an easy thing. If a guy can throw the football halfway into the end zone, That's a 55-yard throw. They can throw it from a standing position, or they can run up and throw it. I would think that most quarterbacks would like to throw from a standing position. That's a bomb.
Yeah, he ran up and absolutely slung it.
Was that Simon Blissett?
He's a guy I'm excited to see.
Yes, 63 yards.
I was really looking forward to watching him today just because he didn't have as many reps as some of the other guys last season because he was at Northport. But, yeah, clearly he's got a pretty strong arm.
62 yards, 63 yards on his 2 throws. Those are bombs.
Definitely.
Patrick Cohn. That's a good throw. Wow. And he hits the bottom of the goalpost. So you're talking about a 63-yard throw for Patrick Cohn. And he'll have one more throw at it. Again, he's running up and going to put everything into that. A little shorter. 58 yards.
Yeah, but Lehigh's getting a good one within Cohn.
Nick DeVito of Smithtown West. Going to throw, it puts a lot of pressure on you when Blissett throws it out of the end zone.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's a wide open throw right there. He's going to go almost 60 yards, 58 yards.
Yeah, a lot of them are getting into the end zone though. I remember a couple years ago.
Everybody came up short.
Yeah, we had some get in there, but a couple definitely short.
Let's get a good distance on that, just over 60 yards. Good throw by Nick DeVito. Newsday's Jolie Katzen is working her way down to the field. She's probably going to try to show all the boys how to throw a football 60 yards. I told her she has to wait for the girls' competition. She's got a little golf elbow going on. Ethan Dizon of Syosset now throwing a football. He looked impressive in the first couple of events.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say, this is the guy we were talking about before. I mean, Syosset sneakily always seems to have, a really good quarterback when you have, Mazwala, now Dizon.
That was 54 yards, but it had the height.
Yeah. Let the receivers run downfield.
Here's my hometown guy, Vinny Faraka of Connecticut. That's like a missile. That's 62 yards on a line. He didn't put any air under that. You have a speedster running down the sideline. You just have to throw that line drive pass. Now he puts a little height on it. Oh, that's the longest throw of the day, 64 yards. Vinny Faraka.
Yeah, he's also a great multi-sport athlete. Like so many of these guys on Long Island, that's like one of my favorite parts of this. They do it on the football field, but also whether it's basketball, baseball, lacrosse. He's a terrific lacrosse player too.
How do you like that throw? Jacob Guzik of Huntington. He went up and ran up, and then he just launched himself into the throw. Watch his last 2 steps. Watch, he's going to launch himself. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Wham! Good throw. 57 yards. And the throws are longer this year than the last 2 years on the overall. Shane Harmon of Oceanside. He's been a starter since his freshman year. He gets it into the end zone at about 54 yards.
Yeah, he's a true veteran. I actually got to speak with him a little bit before all the events started.
Yep.
Man, you talk about someone who's so focused for this season. I mean, because he's been, on the varsity level for 3 years, like you said. He's definitely a man on a mission.
Now listen, this is a left-handed throw by Nick LaChapelle, but it's free and easy. Look at this, nice and smooth. Nice and easy. And just let it go. Nice rip. 55 yards with not a lot of effort.
Yeah. You just tell by the motion.
Next quarterback is Antonio Marone of Smithtown East, tight spiral. That's a nice throw. 57 or 58 yards. Forgive me if I'm a yard short. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Now, rounding up's okay.
There's a good one. Good throw. Again, 56 yards. There's my guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's your guy right here.
A little bit of shoulder push on that. He got thick too. He put on some size this year. He's been in the weight room.
Yeah, he was only as a sophomore last year, he was incredible in Suffolk Division I, which is no small feat right there.
Good pass, 52, 53 yards there. Peyton Robinson. Good year last year. Long Island Lutheran came out of nowhere as one of the top quarterbacks on Long Island, and that's a tight spiral. Well done, 58 yards. Very smooth.
Yeah, he had a definition of a breakout season last year.
Oh, that's a nice throw. 59 yards. He'll go back to Lutheran and be like, Coach, I know I can throw it 60.
Yeah. His coach, Coach Gardner, is actually on the field over there as well.
Nick Sevilla of Half Hollow Hills East. Again, when you're Nick Sevilla, the throws don't have to be that deep. The throws have to be on target when you have a guy like Daniel White in the backfield.
Oh, without a doubt. Right? I mean,
his numbers could be crazy. Think about it. Just throw swing passes to Daniel White and him get all the yardage.
I was going to say you get some screen passes, and then Daniel White's yard after catch is going to be insane. What a season he had last year. That whole Hills East offense, man, it was nuts.
Tim Stanley with a throw of over 52 yards. Again, you watch some of these guys and the way they throw. That's a bomb.
Luke Taff, Half Hollow Hills East.
Half Hollow Hills West's Luke Taff. Can't be easy coming in after Joseph Filati, right, Jared?
No, not at all. But let me tell you something. Taff, he can really play. I mean, if he was on, some other teams on Long Island, he would have been a starter. It just happened one of the greatest ever out of Long Island was in front of him,
54 yards on that final throw. We'll take a break from Smithtown West High School. Greg Sarah of Newsday Sports alongside Jared Veluzzi of Veluzzi Sports. We'll be back in a few moments.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Not having it. He wants everybody hustling. He wants everybody totally involved. And he said, if the quarterback has to throw to a guy who's jogging and not giving it his all, quarterback gets 0.
I love it, man.
Right?
I love it.
So I am joined in the booth by Coach Mike Konsevich of Connecticut High School, my hometown. And Coach K, you've done a great job with the Thunderbirds program, and you got an outstanding quarterback in Vinny Faraka. Tell us a little bit about him and how his progression's been the last 3 years with the high school.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you. Always have, man. We go back ways, man, since 2006, 2007.
Yep.
Vinny is a phenomenal kid. Of course, you see him out here. He's an outstanding quarterback. He could throw the deep ball. He's very accurate. But the best thing about Vinny is he's a phenomenal leader. One of the best kids that you could build a team around. Like if you were picking a number 1 draft pick, I would pick him number 1. Like he's just an outstanding kid. He was great coming up. As a sophomore, we brought him up to varsity, and he was playing behind Nick Pepitone. He got injured early on in the fall, tackling a tackling ring. Believe it or not, We were doing a tackling drill. They all have to tackle. And he injured his shoulder, but he recovered. He played a little bit towards the end of his sophomore year. As a junior, he was, hands down the starter. He was actually a unanimous captain. So we vote for captains in Connecticut. We have the kids pick 3 captains. And as a junior last year, he was unanimous. Everyone, voted for him to be a captain. He had a phenomenal year for us. Threw the ball well. We had a lot of success. Went 6-2 in Division I. A couple of big wins we had against Sachem North and Walt Whitman. Unfortunately, we lost in the playoffs, but Vinny threw for a school record 25 touchdowns. He threw for over 2,000 yards. He's also, believe it or not, he's an outstanding runner. He could run very well with the football because he's pretty fast and he's a big kid. 6'3", probably 200 pounds. And, I heard Jared on here before. He's a multi-sport athlete. He's a great basketball player, outstanding lacrosse player. Matter of fact, he's leaving tomorrow to go to Lake Placid for a lacrosse tournament. I want him to play football in college, so I'm hoping that's where it takes him.
Coach Simon Blissett of Northport, in your division, he looks strong. Through this first few events, he looks real good.
Yeah, so we're back in Division II after being in Division I for the last 4 years, and we here the other night, 7-on-7. Northport head coach Pat Campbell does an outstanding job over at Northport. And first I got to see him at the 7-on-7. We competed against him in the first game, and I was very, very impressed with him. He looks like a really talented quarterback.
Patrick Cohn of Sayville stepping in. Blissett looked good in that drill. Cohn, great arm strength.
The Cohens are Connecticut. Their fathers are Connecticut people.
Danny Cohn?
Danny Cohn.
Man, he's
Mike
the
Cohen.
best.
I give them some stuff every time I see the both of them because these boys could be Connecticut kids, but they live in Sayville.
Yeah, what would you do, though? You'd have Faraka and Cohn.
I'd find a way to play them both. We'd have two quarterbacks.
Collecting quarterbacks?
I was saying, back in the day, we had Jack Cohen, too. Could have been a Connecticut kid,
That would have been nice.
Yeah. Mike and Danny, Connecticut kids. But we won't hold it against them. But Patrick's great. We also did 7-on-7 against Patrick this summer.
Do you see the velo on that tight spiral to the far sideline?
All these guys are such talented quarterbacks. Patrick, he's going to Lehigh for a reason.
Look at that.
Perfect.
It's fun to watch.
Throws like you, Greg, when you played flag football back in the day.
Long
You know what I mean?
ago. I was just saying earlier to Jared Veluzzi how we were fooling around at Newfield High School with a couple guys and going over some of these drills. And they were like, yeah, you used the quarterback. How far can you throw the ball? I was like, at this age, not that far, not anymore.
Look at that throw.
That's
Perfect.
great. But those are the things that you live for as a quarterback. Having your guy run, Andrew Amarando, run down the sideline for Connecticut and just have Faraka lay it out there.
Yeah, 100%. Our offense coordinator, James Rowland, does a really good job, great job. And having a kid like Amarando, great to be a play caller with that kid running down the field.
You know what I love about here's Nick DeVito of Smithtown West. You know what I love about James Rowland is his competitiveness. Look at this throw. Are you serious?
Perfect throw.
That is one of the best throws of the day. Him and Cohen both made great throws across the field.
Talk to me about my boy Rowland. Love that kid.
He's just a passionate guy. He's the guy who will teach kids how to play the game the right way and play with passion. He doesn't accept, mediocrity. There's a difference. Some coaches, they're like, the kid's just not that good, and what are we going to do? Not Rowland. He tries to inspire a kid to be better than maybe his skill set will allow him to be.
Yes.
And that's important in high school sports because kids will look back. He'll be out somewhere 10 years down the road, and a guy will come up to him and tug on his shirt and go, hey, Coach. And it'll be like, wow.
Every time he's out, I'm sure he gets that, man. He's a character, phenomenal human, and you're 100% right, accurate in how he does it as a coach and as a person. So I'm so happy he's our offensive coordinator. He did a great job last year as his first year, and he'll be even better this year. And he gets to coach Faraka.
Yeah.
That's good. You know what else? So we have a couple of young receivers, a couple of 10th graders. One of them's here today, Jonas Mendez. And another kid, Nick Mastriano, who are very, very talented, and they're just two sophomores.
I like it. So you got some guys coming up the ranks. Ethan Dizon of Syosset, he's looked good today. But you're watching all these quarterbacks, Coach, and you're thinking, I'm glad they're not all in my division.
Some of them are. The Northport kid, the Hills East kid, the Huntington kid is really good. Here comes Faraka. Throws an outstanding deep ball.
He's big, huh? 6'3"?
Yeah, 6'3", big legs, strong. This is Brian Boss, a senior he's throwing to.
Yeah, on target. How do you like the hustle of Coach Gill?
I've known about Coach Gill because Coach Gill coached two of our coaches. Joe Body.
Mendez right there?
That's Mendez,
That's
on
catch.
the top. Yeah, Mendez, very fast kid. So Coach Gill coached at LIU Post. He coached James Higgins. He coached Joe Body, two guys on my staff. They think the world of him. They said in their life he's their best coach they've ever had. And Pete Mallory speaks very highly of Coach Gill. Pete Mallory is our athletic director over at Connecticut. And he coached Pete Mallory's oldest son.
By the way, you have two of the most outstanding human beings on God's earth on your staff.
Nice
in
catch
Joe
by
Body
Boss
and
there.
James Higgins.
Oh, yeah, those guys. I was telling Pat, Joe Body works for Major League Baseball right now. And he was just in Dallas last week. He works for an agent, and he was supposed to be there all week, but he changed his schedule around so he can get back for football practice.
Wow.
I said, couldn't stay in Dallas, brother, but, they pay for his hotel, his flight, whatever, and he came back to Connecticut to coach this week.
I coached Joe Body in PAL football at 11, 12, and 13 years old. The best receiver you could have ever wanted That's a nice
It's
catch.
a great catch.
Right?
Body probably made a couple of those catches back in the
This
day.
guy, they're against you. That's Jacob Guzik of Huntington. So
Yeah, we
take-
saw
take
him the
note.
other night too.
Take
I
note.
believe we took a lot of notes. I ran out of paper. This kid is really good. Throws a great ball.
But getting back to Joe Body,
Talk to me. I love
he was
him.
not coverable in PAL football. He was wide open at first play of every game, no matter what. They could play a kid 35 yards off the line. He'd run by him. He would run a slant in front of him, post, corner. It didn't matter. And he never dropped a pass. He's the toughest kid you could ever imagine. He played high school football one year with 2 broken thumbs.
Yeah, he told me.
Yeah. This kid, and he was a great baseball player too, but he chose to go the route of his dad, Mike Body, who was a phenomenal football player at Sachem.
Yep.
And then went on to play at Rutgers University, another supreme talent on Long Island that people don't remember, but they should. But it's funny because Body would come out and do a chair. He'd go down out and go, and our quarterback would throw the ball out over the top. He'd catch it and gone every game.
I believe it.
It was funny, and then if they tried to stop that, he would just do a stop route, catch it in the open field, try to tackle him in the open field. Not happening.
Yeah, he has an outstanding highlight tape from when he played at LIU Post, because you remember the Jets were looking at him. He went to not an undrafted, but when you're coming out of college.
Unrestricted free agent.
He went to the Jets, and he had a tryout with a bunch of other guys, and he was one of the guys that they were looking at, but it unfortunately didn't work out for him with the Jets. I wish it would have. Maybe we would have won some more games.
Shane Harmon, a 3-year starter for Oceanside, airing it out on the field right now.
I really like seeing the Nassau guys, because most of these guys we're not going to see at all.
That's
It's
fun
just
to
kind
see.
of good.
Yeah. How about this?
Talk to me.
Who do you think the quarterback was for Joe Body when he was a Little League 11, 12, 13-year-old?
Stan Hartnett?
Nope. Stan was a year older than us.
I know you had
he
a
was
stacked team.
outstanding. I did. We won 39 games in a row.
I know all
bragging. I'm
about it.
bragging.
No, Body brags about it too. He tells us.
You know why we won 39 games in a row? Because of Joey Body and gotta tell you who else.
Talk to me. I can't think.
Well, one of your favorite football players who you guys talked into playing football the senior year, Greg Sarah Jr.
He was the quarterback?
No, he was the fullback that protected the quarterback.
Okay, I love it.
Marcus Stroman.
You know what? I should have known that, because Greg, that's funny, because Joe has told us his stories with Marcus growing up, and
Yep.
and Marcus's father, how Marcus's dad used to push them when they were at a young age. Get them up early, have them working, doing all sorts of drills.
Nick LaChapelle of Hauppauge High School just did a nice job working him down the field.
One of my assistants, Matt Krozik, our defensive coordinator, coached Marcus in middle school football. It was junior high probably back then at Saxton.
Last time he played for a school team because he broke his thumb on someone's helmet.
And he said he was...
And Earl said, that's it.
Yeah, well...
Well, people say
Worked
stuff
out for
about
him.
his height because, if you're small, I mean, he's on the smaller end as a major league pitcher for 11 years.
Correct.
Highly successful, all right? He's been great. And now part of the New York Yankees, a supreme athletic talent, one of the most athletic people in Long Island history.
Yep.
Okay? When he was younger, think about it. He's 5'7.5" now in Major League Baseball. When he was the quarterback on our team at 12 years old, he was like 5'2", 5'1". And some of those kids get growth spurts at 12 and 13 years old.
No doubt.
It's hard to throw over them, so it wouldn't be surprising in junior high football that he hit his thumb on someone's helmet. So his father, Earl Stroman, said, yeah, football's done because you're going to be special in baseball. Man, he had that right.
Yeah, he was 100% accurate on that one.
I mean, I don't know that anybody thought Marcus was going to be an 11-year major league veteran and be as successful as he was. If they say that, then they're not being honest. He was a phenomenal talent. He was unhittable when
Playing
he was
at
younger.
the highest level,
Right.
Right. And for the New York Yankees.
And he was great at Duke. And then, his ascension into pro baseball, into the show, is just incredible. It's an incredible story. And he's an incredible kid. And I was blessed to have the opportunity to coach him for 10 years.
I would enjoy watching some highlights from back then. Greg Jr.
I have
blocking for...
I have football highlights that you would love to watch of 12-year-old football. You would be like, this is so cool.
That's awesome. My son's now 11 football, 11U, and so I coach him, and I'm living it right now, man. I've been coaching him since he was 6, and...
it's different, right?
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
Especially at that level. There's so much excitement. We play on Sundays, and it's really good.
So you don't have to watch Hudson
Nope.
Philbrick of Ward Melville this year. He just threw the ball up and down the field. He looked great just now.
He was good. We played him last year, early on in the season, and he was a sophomore, and he played well against us. It was a rainy day, so they didn't throw the ball as much as they probably will this year. But Hudson's a very good quarterback. I won't see them for 2 years because Connecticut, we're in Division II for the next 2 years.
Does Peyton Robinson, now he's thrown for Long Lutheran on the field. Do you guys ever schedule scrimmages with Lutheran? Does anybody?
We don't at Connecticut. Excuse me. I do 7-on-7s with Sayville, Bayport, William Floyd now.
All the weaker teams?
Yep.
Sayville,
I try to line up the best teams for us to get competition.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, so we did joint practices with West Babylon.
City in too, in Farmingdale.
Yeah, well, so it's funny you say that. Farmingdale was just at our school a couple of weeks ago for a 7-on-7.
Yeah.
I got to talk to Buddy Krumanacker, who's
legend.
He's awesome guy. He's years younger than his age. You know what I'm saying? Like when you talk to him, he's a youthful guy.
He's got full Astra this year. We know nothing about this kid. He came out here and he looks great.
He has 2 quarterbacks. Both were really good. One's, I believe, a lefty, lacrosse player, athlete, runs the football, great leader. And then he has that one who's here today who threw the ball well. I saw him throwing a nice football.
His quarterback last year was good, Dennis Finkel. And the running back, Josh Kama, is one of the very best on Long Island. Coming back this year, someone definitely to pay attention to.
Yeah, so for our scrimmages, like for us at Connecticut, I'm doing a 4-way at William Floyd. I try to stay in Suffolk. And then we have a game scrimmage against Sachem East, being that now we're in Division II, so I'll compete against Division I teams that I'm, friends with the coaches, and we on the same page. Good dude, the Sachem East staff.
Are you ready for a little black and blue in the Division II in Suffolk County?
Well, we lived it a couple years ago, and we got some size up front. But I know Division II is, any team you face in Division II is going to be a battle. They're tough, competitive. A lot of teams run the ball, but some teams are now throwing the ball. And if you watch Northport today, you're normally a wing T team. They're going to be throwing that football around. I would if I had that quarterback.
So we talked about John Gill earlier. He played at Akron University in the early 2000s, 2000, 2003. And then, after he graduated from Akron, he embarked on a 20-year career coaching LIU, formerly LIU Post. Served as the quarterback coach for 8 years there, and then pass game coordinator for 9 years, and was the interim head coach in 2021. Gill is a special guy. He's what makes this event go. And he explains all the different challenges for all the quarterbacks as Tim Stanley of Levittown Division takes center stage at the 40-yard line working with Coach Gill. It's got to be fun for the coaches, too, to talk to Gill. He's an interesting guy.
Very interesting, passionate about what he does, very dedicated, very disciplined. And, he's a worker. The guy works his tail off, and you can see him out here today. I mean, he hasn't stopped moving since I've arrived. And I'm telling you, from anyone who played for him, think the world of him.
Luke Taff, our last participant for Half Hollow Hills West. I want to shout out to the National Football Foundation on field video coordinator. You know who it is? Timmy Horan. He's on the National Football Foundation board. He's a member. He's the West Islip Athletic Director, Section 11 football chairman. He can't do enough for high school football. And again, Tim Horan, everybody here wants to thank you for your commitment to the sport of football and everything that you do to make this sport a great sport and to promote the sport and all the players.
Yeah, Tim Horan is an outstanding human. Always helpful if you need any help with anything, any questions you have. He's there for you at any given time. Also, I don't know if you gave a shout out to Len Genova. Len, part of the National Football Foundation. Len, I get so many text messages from Len, reminding me, giving me daily reminders of, time, if I can do this, if I can do that. And he's so passionate about Long Island football.
Coach, we're going to break. We'll come back. Stay with me. When we come back on the National Football Foundation's Quarterback Challenge, it'll be Greg Sarah and Coach K from Connecticut. Coach, we're right there.
Oh.
Say hey.
What's up, man?
We'll be right back.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
The quarterback will take a 3-step drop and a hitch. After his first hitch, he will break the pocket to his non-throwing side. For righties, will be left. For lefties, will be right. He'll be sprinting full speed, all right, laterally, all right, and throwing the ball on the run while running laterally to the sideline We want to emphasize again that the quarterbacks are running full speed and they're staying flat, which makes the throw a lot more challenging and extremely difficult. They're just running full speed and staying flat as they throw the ball on the move.
Smithtown West High School. Greg Sarah of Newsday Sports here with Coach K of Connecticut High School, and we've had some fun today. Perfect day.
The weather's beautiful.
But you know what that means? That means every game this year will be rain.
I hope not.
No, me either. It's the
High
worst.
school football's the best.
Oh, it
High
is.
school football's the best.
Some of your memories of the last couple of years that I've enjoyed covering your games, top 2 or 3, and let me see if I agree with you, at your home field. How about Andrew Amarando's diving interception in the end zone?
Yeah, so this past year on our homecoming, every year we have a special player wear number 14 in honor of Stan Hartnett and Andrew Amarando. It's funny, every year whoever wears it has a game of their life. And this year Andrew Amarando scored all 3 touchdowns against Sachem in overtime, and he had that game-sealing, game-winning interception in the back of the end zone to win the game for us. So that was definitely one of our top highlights this over my career at Connecticut has been a blessing. I've been coaching there now. I'm going into my 28th year, believe it or not. Winning a Long Island championship is always at the top because that's your goal every year as your team is to win a championship. Coaching Mike Pellegrino, winning the Hanson Award, watching the career he has in the NFL, coaching with the Patriots, now coaching with the Buffalo Bills, was tremendous. And we had a lot of great wins, a lot of great games. We've had some heartbreakers too. But that game last year against Sachem, the game was just awesome. It was just an awesome experience. And it was a day like this, maybe a little cooler,
It was
but it was a beautiful day.
Watching Simon Blissett of Northport, he's impressive. I mean, this is the toughest drill in my view. I mean, I'm going to ask you what you think the toughest drill is, but this mobility drill is tough because he wants you to sprint out and stay parallel to the line of scrimmage, then turn your shoulders and fire a pass. And it's great because he doesn't. You know why he doesn't want you to close the gap towards the line of scrimmage, because it gives the defender more of an opportunity to make the tackle. And some quarterbacks drift, like he doesn't drift.
No,
right?
he went. That's Pat Cohen
Pat
from
Cohen.
Sable. He just went on a straight
on
line,
the line,
did it perfect.
Right, and now he'll do it the same way coming towards us.
And I think this is good because you're going to your strong side, and eventually you're going to have to go to your weak side. He's a righty going to his left.
He drifted there, and he went up too soon. But Gill is telling them when to throw it. So he must like what he sees. But Cohen's got exceptional strength.
Yes.
Arm strength. He really does. He throws bullets. Stepping in
Strong
now is
kid.
Nick DeVito of Smithtown West. But this mobility drill is a very tough drill, throwing on the run while staying parallel to the line of scrimmage.
The other night in practice, our quarterback coach, Zach Shaggy, did this same drill. He didn't know this was going to be a drill in the quarterback challenge, but he was doing this drill with all quarterbacks. So it's funny that it's being replicated here right now. There's Pacey right there. I see him.
He's getting ready for the big surgery. He's got a big surgery on Wednesday.
Yeah, huge one.
Stepping in now is Ethan Dizon of Syosset High School.
What's up, brother?
Joining us in the booth, Dr. James Pacey. Checking on Coach K. Did his ACL surgery years ago. You're walking around fine. Are you sprinting?
Yeah, I'm sprinting. I'm faster than ever. He told me that.
You know why? Because he took ligament from a cadaver to make you faster.
Didn't matter. That was almost 8 years ago. Coaching on the sideline. And usually I'm on the field or I'm close to the field. That time I was like 5 yards off, and our quarterback got thrown into me. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason. If I didn't know, I would have never met Dr. Pacey. And he did a great job. And I'm telling you, I'm faster than I ever was. I was never that fast.
That's a great endorsement for Orland Cohen and Dr. James Pacey by Coach K. Let's hope I'm saying the same thing in a couple weeks from now.
Let me just watch Faraka on this drill. Staying flat, perfect. That's a nice throw. That's young Mendez.
Kid's got great hands.
Roland and Bod, he gets to be coached by James Roland and Joe Body. Those guys are working my receivers. So
I see a lot of long
hands.
outs at the Connecticut offense this year. I see a lot of long pass plays.
I don't know if we could protect.
Stepping in now, Jacob Guzik of Huntington High School. One of your opponents this year. Do you play Huntington?
I play everybody. I play Huntington, Hills East, Northport, East Islip, Center Reach, Newfield. There's no rest. Look at this. Perfect. So that's the thing
Ron
about
Wilson's over there now at Huntington.
yes, really good guy.
Fantastic coach.
Yep.
Track, football, everything. Great guy.
Great guy. You know, I just met him. I met him at the seed meeting, of course, and I just spoke to him the other night. And, you know, he's doing a really nice job over there at Huntington. Last year, I know they had some success. They were close to beating Hills East, who won Division II.
Shane Harmon just went right to his strength, to his strong side, and Coach Gill said, no, you went across the line of scrimmage. No good. Well,
that
you
one was
weren't
good.
parallel. That one was real good, but that was after he got told. Gill doesn't hold back.
No.
He wants them to learn and get better from this. It's not just a competition. This is
He's
an
coaching.
opportunity to learn the fundamentals of these different drills.
Right, this guy Gill he's coaching. You know, even though you're right, it's a competition, but he's still coaching. So like him, he went to his right, and he's a lefty. That's, you know,
Not an easy throw.
no.
Nick LaChapelle of Hauppauge High School. I think he's our only lefty. Am I right? Here he comes. Let's
Yes,
see if he
he's the
stays.
only
Nope,
lefty.
Drifted. See, he drifted up 2 yards. No good.
And it's funny, I thought he threw it better going to his right than his left, and he's a lefty. But
Straddled the line going to
Yes.
his right. Yeah. Antonio Marone of Smithtown East steps in. Gill with the snap. And Gill is giving them verbal commands. He tells them when to go and then when to make the throw. And we can't hear that down on the field, but now when he comes left, he'll go back, 3-step drop, go, sprints out to his
stays.
left. Good throw.
Great throw.
I like the way he squared his shoulders before he let it go. It was good. And he stayed parallel to the line of scrimmage.
That looks good.
Hudson Philbrick of Ward Melville steps in.
And they're going to have a good team, Ward Melville, in Division I. They're returning a lot of guys.
You know, in the 8 years or whatever it's been, the Bull Trek has been there. He's turned that program back to what it was in the, I would say, late 80s, early 90s.
Well, back in the 80s when Connecticut and Ward Melville used to have some battles when Nick Massey was the head coach of Connecticut. The year Connecticut won the Rutgers in 1989, I believe Ward Melville and Connecticut had a battle. That's when Todd Sauerbrunn was the kicker.
Yeah.
You were there
NFL
covering the game, probably.
Yes, I was. He set the record for the longest field goal in Long Island history, Todd Sauerbrunn, and he had an 11-year NFL career as a punter.
Yes.
He was also a phenomenal Division I lacrosse athlete.
I heard that.
Peyton Robinson of Long Island Lutheran steps in here. This is mobility, testing athletes' mobility, throwing to his right and then to his left.
That was a good throw right there.
These aren't short throws either, Coach. These aren't 10-yard
No.
throws. Where their releases is 25 yards from the end zone, and they're
And
all
he's
throwing the ball
catching
to the
5
end zone.
yards. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about 25 to 30-yard throw.
Yep. You have to have arm strength, especially going, to your weak side.
Right, and you're not coming upfield. You're staying flat. That's what's going to make it more challenging for them.
And it's vital to stay flat so that the defender doesn't close in on you and make the play.
Yep.
Keep him
Good
away.
lesson for all these quarterbacks.
Everything is about the fundamentals. Nick Sevilla of Half Hollow Hills East. Good throw. I look back to coverage. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. It all starts to blend after 40 years. But I still can't forget the humility, and I felt so bad for the kicker at Sachem North that missed 5 field goals against you guys at your home field with the wind. The wind was brutal that day.
That was last year, and it was windy that day. It was a beautiful day, but it was windy, and some of those kicks were tough kicks. They weren't like chip shots.
No, they were 35-yarders, but the coach believed in the kid to keep going in that way. I know you can make this. I know you can make it. And he hit the crossbar once. He hit the goalpost once. He was short once. He was wide right. I was sitting there going, I can't write this. But then when you played them in the playoffs, did they beat you in the playoffs? Is that true?
Yeah, Greg, I didn't want you to bring that up, but yes, they beat us in the playoffs.
He kicked the field goal in that game.
He did, and I believe he made all his extra points. And, after that game, as excited as we were for our team, a lot of us as coaches, myself included, went over to the kicker and just said, listen, man, keep your head up, because that's, as a kicker, to me, that's one of the toughest
class act
positions
that you guys are and
on the field.
I love that you did that because you had compassion for an opponent. That was Luke Taff of Half Hollows West wrapping up mobility. Coach K, I want to thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Greg, I appreciate it, man.
Can't
I
wait
always
to
love
see
you,
you
brother.
win the
Best of luck on Wednesday, all right, man?
Absolutely. Thanks.
And
We'll
come to
be back.
Connecticut this year. Thunderbirds, brother.
I'll be at my home field at Connecticut to see all you guys. You and James Rowland, James Higgins. Okay. And Joe Body. We'll be back at Smithtown West at the National Football Foundation Quarterback Challenge in just a moment.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Quarterback here will get a snap and snap turn and immediately throw the ball out to the receiver on the numbers, okay? And as the ball is being thrown, the next snap is coming. As soon as the ball is released, the next snap is coming, so the quarterback has minimal time to reset and gather himself. It's catch, grip, rip, catch, grip, rip, catch, grip, rip, as quick as possible.
We're going to go down to the field with Coach John Gill as he explains the next event here in the Quarterback Challenge. Coach?
Hey, Blissett, give me a ball. Give me a ball. All right, hold that one for me. Whose ball is that there? Guys, back up more. Receivers, you're not in. Back up. Here you go. Ready, brothers? To come fast and hot.
Whenever you're ready. All right, they're starting to drill. We had some technical difficulties. We apologize down in the field. So we'll get started with Saifullah Asra of Farmingdale. This is the release quickness. It's called hot potato. 5 throws in a row to different targets and being accurate. So as they release that first football, the next snap is on the way. Quarterback's got to be rocking and rolling to make this happen. Simon Blissett of Northport getting ready. Coach Gill holds 4 footballs and flips them rapid fire. Step, turn your hip, turn, get the snap, turn, get the snap, make the throws, and get them out there. And then they check on the accuracy, form, footwork, quick release. You know, guys got to be quick because they got to see that next snap coming as they cannot watch the end of the completion in this drill as Patrick Cohn steps in from Sayville. And I'm going to expect 5 missiles to the wide receiver at the 35-yard line. Cohn will be throwing from the 25. It's 10-yard out. It's just a quick catch, set, and release. And Gill gets him started. Nice work. 5 passes right on the dot. Stepping in, Nick DeVito of Smithtown West. As Gill gathers all the footballs. And here we go. Ethan Dizon of Syosset stepping in. This is the final challenge of the day. Then we'll have a cool down and a voting tabulation. And a 2-minute interview with Ray Nelson of Orland and Cohen as we move to our next competitor, Dizon. Well done. Squared his shoulders to every snap. Made 5 perfect throws. Next quarterback is Vinny Faraka of Connecticut High School. I want to thank Coach K for coming in and spending some time with us here in the booth. Always an entertaining conversation with Coach K and Coach Rowland, James Rowland, also the offensive coordinator at Connecticut. They should have a good year this year, but their schedule will be tough. It's one after the other in Division II. There's no easy games. Faraka making his throws to the out. 4 in a row, 5 in a row. Beautiful throws. Jacob Guzig of Huntington High School, Division II in Suffolk County, stepping in. Huntington turned it on last year, made the playoffs. Coach Ron Wilson doing a fantastic job with the Blue Devils. And they will be in the mix this year, bringing back a lot of players from last year's playoff team. He upset a few teams last year. They were in every game. And we're starting to get all the surveys back at Newsday telling us who the best players and the best teams are from the coaches, so we can pick our top 100 at Newsday. I was talking to Jared Veluzzi about it earlier. He's already working on his lists for top quarterbacks, top running backs, top wide receivers, top linemen. He gets after it. I think he goes as deep as top kickers. Kid's into it. He loves it. Veluzzi Sports, promoting high school football. Love people that do that. Beautiful day here at Smithtown West. Slight breeze coming from the north. We've seen the top quarterbacks here on Long Island compete in 7 different events, including the event that they had last night where they learned in the classroom and had guest speakers. They had a special treat. Michael Pellegrino, the coach for the Buffalo Bills. Pellegrino, a former Hanson Award winner in 2009. Outstanding running back, D-back, kick returner from Connecticut. Brought back memories of Chad Bosch at Connecticut. Pellegrino was an outstanding player. His brother Joe was a pretty awesome player himself. Won the Long Island Championship as brothers in 2008. Beat Freeport in the final. 21-13, I believe the final was. 20-13. Outstanding season with Coach Mike Hansen. Never forget that year as part of the media, but also as a father. My son Greg Jr. played on the special teams and linebacker for Connecticut. It was an incredible moment, sports-wise, in my family. Pretty much better than anything I ever did in my career. Just, you never forget when your kid succeeds in high school and has that great experience and makes friends and understands teamwork and accountability and sets them up for a great life. And that's what football does for people. It galvanizes communities, brings people together, cheerleaders, the band, kick line. You know, the student body comes out and supports them. It's just an important part of the fabric of what we have here on Long Island. As Hudson Philbrick has stepped in for Ward Melville. Peyton Robinson of Long Island Lutheran will be next as we wrap up the National Football Foundation's Long Island Quarterback Challenge. The boys event, we had Rob Blount on, Mike Konsavich of Connecticut High School. It was good to hear from both of them, 2 playoff-bound teams pretty much every year. You know, the National Football Foundation added an additional component to the evaluation for the quarterback challenge this year. Each team that had a quarterback selected to participate in the challenge competed this past Wednesday in a 7-on-7 evaluation. It was filmed by T&D Sports and graded by Coach Gill. There was one site at Plain Edge High School in Nassau and one in Suffolk right here at Smithtown West High School. Last night, before today's quarterback challenge, the National Football Foundation sponsored a leadership symposium at the offices of Orland and Cohen in Woodbury. All the quarterbacks had an opportunity to hear from some distinguished speakers on a variety of important topics, and they included Dr. James Pacey. He was there, along with Ray Nelson. You heard from Michael Willett earlier, the founder and CEO of Walk On Nation. Michael is originally from North Babb and formerly a Division I football player at the University of Central Florida. He was a former walk-on who earned a scholarship and starred at UCF for 3 seasons. And since his playing years, Michael has created Walk On Nation with the purpose of redefining athletic identity. And he addressed to teaching those athletes that they are enhanced, not defined by their status. And I love that. You are enhanced, not defined by who you are on the field. They also heard from John Pacey III, a former All-Long Island and Hanson Award winner from Huntington High School, who went on to star. He was at Indiana University, actually. He was one of the best quarterbacks in Long Island all time. And later in the NFL, played a little bit with the Jets and the Washington Redskins. And John Pacey is currently the managing director of Morgan Stanley and the head of distribution and trading. John Pacey's message last night was he discussed the keys to balancing athletics and academics and achieving professional success, which he has done very well in his life. As Luke Taff, Hollow Hills West, steps in, our final competitor. And Danny Bonaventura, an Associate AD for Academic Affairs at Robert Morris University. He also spoke at the symposium. He's a Hop Hog native, and his current role at Robert Morris, he oversees the academic services and student-athlete development for RMU's 17 Division I athletic teams. He addressed personal core values. He comes from a big family. And leadership lessons by putting the quarterbacks through a variety of exercises to help them identify their core values. I want to thank all the speakers that were here last night and all the volunteers that made today's event so successful. When we come back, we'll have today's winner on the field. I'm Greg Sarah from Newsday Sports. Stay with us.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Oof. We're good?
Okay, welcome everyone. Again, my name is Len Genova. I'm the president of the James C. Metzger, Suffolk County chapter of the National Football Foundation. Welcome. As we're doing our tabulation for our scoring for the quarterback challenge, we're fortunate to have one of the most prominent sport medicine doctors on Long Island, Dr. James Pacey. So Doc, welcome. Thanks for always being here. I know the National Football Foundation is near and dear to your heart, having been an honoree back in the mid-90s. So if you could just talk about your experience as a high school athlete playing for your dad, and also what it meant to be a National Football Foundation scholar athlete, and just what that signifies to you.
So growing up in a family with educators as parents, both of my parents were teachers. My father was the head football coach at Huntington High School. You know, education was always a premium in our house. Athletics certainly was very important, having a coach as a father, but it was really about finding that balance between academics and athletics, and the National Football Foundation just puts that on a pedestal. The student portion of student athlete really is the most important thing, and this is about life lessons and becoming a better person, a better citizen, and being a better part of the community, and I think this foundation really focuses on that and puts it at a premium.
You know, it was so special for the audience. This year, we created the John Pacey Iron Grit Award after Dr. Pacey's dad. And it was really a special moment, I hope, for you and your family. So if you could just talk about what the award meant to the family. And then we did our initial inaugural winner this past year. So I know at the brunch it was special for your mom and dad and your whole family. So maybe just talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, it really was a great day, and what the foundation does on the award ceremony day across the board is really just first class. And for our family to be able to honor my father and his legacy and everything that he's done for people in the community across the years, it's really amazing being back now and working in the community. I was actually at Huntington Hospital working this week, and I had one of the nurses come up to me and, you know, are you Coach Pacey's son? Not are you Dr. Pacey, are you Coach Pacey's son? And just telling me about her brother and the experience that he had and how highly he spoke about my father forever, and that my father actually came into their house and sat down and talked to his parents and her parents about football and about how it can help their son move forward in life. And a family that was 100% against playing football allowed their son to play, and he had a phenomenal experience. And then 20-something, 30 years later, to have his sister come up to me on a work day and explain that just goes to show the legacy that my father's had and the legacy that Long Island football has in general.
Thank you. And you know, it's funny, I know you played in the Ivy League at Yale and you had a great experience there, and obviously it led to your professional success, but just talk a moment about, especially for the parents who are here today and listening, how important, we love athletics and it teaches us life lessons, but it's an opportunity, it can be used as an opportunity to create educational opportunities at the college level, and also what it teaches you to be successful as a professional.
Absolutely. So, you know, I tell all of the high school kids that come into my office, you know, use athletics to get to somewhere you couldn't without it. So, you know, if you can go to a community college, get into a state school. If you can get into a state school, broaden your horizons, go to somewhere, go to your stretch, and use it to propel yourself to an Ivy League school or a little Ivy school if you can. But, you know, statistically, the odds of becoming a professional athlete are so small, right? The real opportunity as a high school athlete is to leverage that to get you the best education you can, and then open your horizons to whatever you want to do in life. I certainly am not where I am without using football to get into Yale and then propelling that into a career in medicine.
Well, you should be so proud, and we can't thank you enough for the commitment you make on your family time, on your personal time, always to be here. But we have one important thing. I know you have a really important patient this week. The Newsday High School sports editor, Greg Sarah, who does all the commentary today. It's critically important that he gets through this week in one piece, okay, Doc?
Yeah, he's got a big trip coming up in September, so we want to get him back going so he can walk around on his trip and be ready to go. You know, Greg's a big part of Long Island high school sports and a big part of our family here at the National Football Foundation, so it's always good to be able to take care of our own.
Absolutely. Well, Doc, thanks so much, as always, for making time and for being such an ardent supporter of the Football Foundation. We
appreciate it, Len.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Good morning. My name is Len Genova. I'm the president of the James C. Metzger, Suffolk County chapter of the National Football Foundation. The foundation itself was created in 1947 and is dedicated to promoting amateur football and to honoring those individuals who serve the game, whether they be players, coaches, administrators, or referees. Our chapter here in Suffolk County has been in existence since 1995, and every year at our Scholar Athlete Brunch, we recognize one scholar athlete from each of the schools, both public, Catholic, and private, that play football in Suffolk County, provided they meet our minimum criteria. Now, from that group, we pick our top 11, which we refer to as our Golden 11. And they truly represent academic and athletic excellence and represent all that's right about scholastic sports. Now, from that group, we actually pick one top scholar.
And through the years, we've had some amazing young people who have achieved tremendous things in their community, on the gridiron, and certainly in the classroom. So it's a very proud moment for me to be here this morning to welcome everyone and to congratulate all our scholar athletes for all the great work they've done throughout their entire careers. And a special congratulations to their parents who have invested so much time and effort into making them the successful, good people that they are. So welcome, everyone.
In 2019, the executive board of the foundation decided to rename the chapter in recognition of one of Long Island's most philanthropic supporters of youth and high school athletics, James C. Metzger.
Proud to be with you here this morning and welcome you to our annual Scholar Athlete Brunch for the James C. Metzger Suffolk County chapter of the National Football Foundation. And I have none other than our namesake, James Metzger, with me this morning. So, Jim, the first question I have for you is, what does it mean to you to have our top Scholar Athlete Award named in recognition of your late dad, Conrad, who unfortunately passed away recently?
Yeah, it's hard to put it into words. I don't want to get choked up when Len just within the last day or two told me that, and I saw the program. It's probably the most special award I've ever been associated with, and I've been involved in athletics for 50 years. So my dad was my best friend, and he's looking down from heaven. I know he's a humble man, and he's saying he's enjoying it, probably saying he doesn't deserve it, but I know enjoying it immensely, and I literally couldn't be happier about that.
Well, I know how proud he must have been of you and what you accomplished in your lifetime, both on the athletic field and certainly in the business world. But I did want to ask you, how big of a part did football play in your life growing up? I know we've had a lot of conversations, but I'd love for you to share that with the people that are involved in the chapter.
A lot. Football, one of my all-time favorite coaches, Vince Lombardi. Maybe I borrowed from him a little bit when I said everything I needed to know in business I learned on the sports field.
You know, Jim, I know when I first met you, and I'm going to reference that in my remarks this morning, it was just how passionate you were in terms of talking about your career playing high school football and how vividly some of those memories still stick with you and how important they are to you, quite frankly.
Yeah, they don't fade away. Unfortunately, some of the what I call failures or the tough spots along the way, I remember those most, I think. But by and large, yes, I can remember almost every game I played, 3 years of varsity, and most of them were good. But it gave me it was the foundation upon which I built both my personal and professional life.
The chapter is also supported by local businesses and is fortunate to count on the Orland & Cohen Sports Medicine Practice as a naming rights sponsor for the prestigious Player of the Week team.
Orland & Cohen is a Long Island's leading and largest private orthopedic and sports medicine group. They're committed to not only providing excellent service, giving great access to athletes, but doing philanthropic things like supporting the National Football Foundation and other organizations that do good things as well. These organizations and being involved with the foundation for all these years, we need support. And we can't give out awards like this and provide a brunch like this free to the athletes without the support of organizations. And so Orland & Cohen is a major sponsor of this event for that reason.
The 2022 event was an enormous success with over 300 people in attendance, and also recognized National Football Foundation Coach of the Year, Robin Rosa from Walt Whitman High School. Whitman won the 2021 Suffolk County Championship and received the Rutgers Trophy, the school's first since 1974.
But one of the things I learned a long, long time ago is that when you win a Coach of the Year award, you win it because the coaches you coach with and the great players you get to coach. Also proves that I've just been around a long time. Eventually I would get it right.
In addition, the 2021 James Dooley Contribution to Amateur Football Award was presented to well-respected orthopedic surgeon and former National Football Foundation scholar athlete, Dr. James Pacey.
Listen, it's an honor and a privilege to be here with all of you today. To be able to continue to be involved in high school athletics, which has meant so much to me and my family over the years, is really a tremendous thing.
Our 2022 Scholar Athlete Brunch featured some outstanding young men who achieved athletic and academic excellence. Please meet several of them and hear firsthand just what the great sport of football has taught them.
I think it's got to be companionship, like with my teammates, especially at Sayville. We build such a brotherhood, and those skills that I've built with my teammates, it's gonna help me throughout life with like working with other people.
Football's taught me a lot of things about life, but most importantly, it's taught me the importance of working hard to achieve a goal and how to work together as a team to achieve that goal.
One of the missions of the National Football Foundation is to build leaders through football. Through our continued hard work and success, we will have opportunities to have positive impacts in our communities and for those around us.
Football has taught me how to overcome adversity. Being scored on as a defensive player and a defensive leader on the team. Got scored on, a lot of guys would look to me to really, keep my head up and make sure that we're, still staying focused and still, achieving our goal of, turning the ball over and getting the ball back to the offense. And it's easy to become defeated. However, football has really taught me how to keep my head on straight and just how to stay focused, keep my head on the goal, and really just focus on keeping the team and our morale high.
I think that football has taught me to just stay hard, working hard and be dedicated in everything that I do. Obviously, to be successful in football, you have to work really hard and go above and beyond at what everyone else does. And I think that can be carried over in all aspects of life.
Going into this year, I had no idea I was going to receive an honor like this, so it's truly spectacular to be here. Secondly, I'd like to thank my family. My family has always pushed me to be my best and work as hard as I can. So sometimes I might think they push me a little bit too much, especially my dad. He's been my coach in all sports, hockey, baseball, football, since I was a very little kid. He's always been there for me. He's always pushing me to be my best.
Welcome back to the Long Island Quarterback Challenge. Again, I'm Len Genova, your chapter president, and we're fortunate here to have Steve Fasciani, who was one of our judges this morning, but also the president of the Suffolk County Coaches Association. So I want to welcome Steve and also thank him for the tremendous support we get from the Coaches Association. We've been partners now since 1995, so first and foremost, I want to thank you for that support, Steve.
It's a great partnership. I mean, the National Football Foundation, the Suffolk County chapter does so much for Long Island football, Suffolk County in general, and it's just a no-brainer. You do so many great events, like the one last night. You're going to talk a little bit about that, the symposium. This challenge has grown by leaps and bounds. It's only going to get better and bigger, and we're just excited to be a part of it.
And Steve and I, we've talked in the past, because Steve was originally from Florida, was a prominent high school coach down there, about just how important it is in certain other parts of the country, and we want to bring that here to Long Island. So I know that's important to you, and it's events like this and it's partnerships like we have between the Football Foundation and the Coaches Association that can make those things come to fruition. So just talk about some of the things I know the association has done over the past few months.
So I think our biggest thing, besides promoting the kids as much as we can, we have our showcase every year, annually in May. We just went on our 14th year. We started with about 25 kids showing up, some coaches. Now we're over to between 200 and 250 student athletes at the showcase every year. We get 30 to 40 college coaches that not only come, but they actually participate and run the drills with the kids. So they're getting that direct interaction and building those relationships right away at all divisions, from Division I all the way to Division III to NAIA. So there's opportunities for all kids at all levels to find a place where they can get a great education and play football.
And I know last night we had talked earlier, I spoke with Dr. Pacey, but about the educational component, the leadership symposium we had last night. We had some phenomenal speakers, but I think we've talked about this, the importance about also adding another element to these things, not where it's just about the apparel they get or performing on the field, but try to get them to at least get one thing substantive in terms of how we can help in their professional development. So just if you could talk a minute about last night, what you thought about the leadership symposium and how helpful that might be to these young men as they go forward, and young ladies.
I thought it was excellent. I thought the speakers touched on things that are so important. Football is such a great microcosm for the game of life, and they talked about how to be successful, not just on the football field, but being great family members, being great husbands and fathers when they get older, being great successful in the world outside of football, and how they can use that and use those lessons and use that to prosper in life and not just on the football field. And I think that education component is sometimes missed. And with your partnership in the National Football Foundation, the great speakers you had last night, I think it's just something that we bring to these student athletes that is really an important component. I'm glad that that's part of it.
Well, Steve, I hope you enjoyed your time here today. It was a great event. We can't thank you enough, not just for the time today, but also for being such a great partner through the Suffolk County Coaches Association.
Thank you. It's my
Thank
pleasure.
you so much. You got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster. Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster. Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster. Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Welcome back to Smithtown West High School. Greg Sarah, Newsday Sports, and we're about to crown our National Football Foundation Quarterback Challenge champion. We have some winners in other events, individual events. The Gauntlet Accuracy event, the Anticipation event, Wide Receiver Award, the Football IQ from the Friday Night Symposium, and our overall winner. Len Genova directing traffic down on the track here at Smithtown West, and we're ready to rock and roll. Congratulations to all the participants in the National Football Foundation's Quarterback Challenge. It's been a pleasure watching all you great quarterbacks and wide receivers perform, giving us a glimpse of what we expect in the 2025 high school football season. It's an opportunity for us at Newsday Sports to get a quick view of the great athletes that we expect to see perform this fall. It's an opportunity to make our top 100 and to be seen on a big stage among your peers. We have awards in different categories today. When we announce your name, please come up, accept your award, take a couple photos, and congratulations. Our first award is the Air It Out Long Ball Award. The winner of that award is Simon Blissett of Northport High School. Our next award at the National Football Foundation Quarterback Challenge is the Accuracy Award. It's called the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet Accuracy Award goes to Ethan Dizon of Syosset High School. Our next award at the National Football Foundation Quarterback Challenge is the Anticipation Award. That goes to Saifullah Asri of Farmingdale High School. Friday Night Symposium with John Pacey III, Michael Willett, and Danny Bonaventura, and a special speech from Michael Pellegrino from the Buffalo Bills, was a great night for all you athletes. The Football IQ Award in the classroom is Antonio Marone of Smithtown East. For the overall winner of the event, the judges were tied for second and third place, and here are your three runners-up. They are Luke Taff of Half Hollow Hills West High School, Antonio Marone of Smithtown East High School, Peyton Robinson of Lehigh, and your overall winner, congratulations to Nick DeVito of Smithtown West High School. Nick DeVito completed 63% of his passes last year. Should be an outstanding player this year for Smithtown West High School, taking photos with Newsday's Jolie Katzen, who will interview the winner in a few moments, with Lenny Genova of the Suffolk County chapter of the National Football Foundation, and DeVito receiving congratulations from everybody. And we have one more award to give. Our final award is the Wide Receiver Award. For his hustle and outstanding play, making some great catches and always being there for Coach Gill, helping out with quarterbacks that didn't have two receivers. Guy had an outstanding day. Rakov Gosh, Syosset High School. Great job. Another great event with the National Football Foundation and the Quarterback Challenge. We look forward to seeing everybody in the high school football season. When we come back here on Sports Live, T&D Sports Video Production, we'll have our winner, Nick DeVito, with Jolie Katzen of Newsday Sports. Thanks for coming, everybody. It's been a great day at Smithtown West High School.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
All right, Nick, 2025 Quarterback Challenge winner. I mean, just how amazing does it feel having that trophy in your hands right now?
It feels great, definitely, especially doing it at the home turf, defending the turf. My guys came out and showed out for me today. You know, it's a great accomplishment. I'm happy to have it.
Is there a specific part of the challenge today that you feel like you excelled in?
I feel like the cover 2 hole shots, I feel like I knew I was going to excel in that one. I feel like I did, so I was excited about that one. I feel like that one kind of sealed it.
Yeah, and just how much fun is it to be a part of an event, especially as you said, on your home turf, but to be competing against 15 of the top quarterbacks on Long Island? Just how fun is that?
Yeah, it's one like all the guys are great quarterbacks, great competition. You know, go against them this season. You know, get a sneak peek of them now. I mean, it was great to be out here. It was just a great feeling overall.
Yeah, and I mean, season's right around the corner, literally. So, just how excited are you to get into this season this year?
Yeah, we're excited. You know, the team's looking good. You know, we've been playing. Our team's a special year this year because we've been playing with these kids since we were young. And I'm excited to go one last ride with them. So it's gonna be fun.
Amazing. Thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Yeah, special thanks to Jolie Katzen of Newsday Sports, doing a fantastic job on the field. Beautiful day. What a great event. We saw a lot of great quarterbacks, a lot of great wide receivers. I was double duty today. I had a lot of fun. I was up here on the mic letting everybody in the bleachers know what was happening, who was performing, who was out on the field. But listen, this event doesn't happen without John Gill, our coach, who runs the entire event, and Lenny Genova from the National Football Foundation, Ray Nelson from the Orland & Cohen group. This is a big event, and it's really well done. Special thanks to our speakers, John Pacey III, Michael Willett, Michael Pellegrino, Danny Bonaventura, and our staff here at T&D Sports. For Matt, for Jamie, for Greg, for all of us, it's been an outstanding day at Smithtown West High School. Have a great summer. We'll see you in the fall for high school football season.